Let's get it. Let me get a mic check. Let me get a one if my audio is good. Let me get a two if I need to make some adjustments. And we're going to get right into this. This is a continuation of our Turtle Island series. And we got so much to learn. If you watched the first one, you know it was a classic now. I don't want to keep y'all waiting. We're going to get right into it since you said the audio is good. We're going to do this one like yesterday. I'm going to just hide the chat room for myself. You guys can keep talking. But I'm going to hide the chat room for myself so I won't be able to see the chat. That way we don't have no distractions. We're going to start part two right away. Ain't no need of no introduction. We picking right off from where we left yesterday. And we going into the next section of our symbolism with Turtle Island, syncing it to the cow goddess, Hathor, Nut, and all the other ancient matriarchal deities. Picking up from where we left off yesterday, we went over a lot of deep, good stuff. So if you can just keep that in mind as we get into this one, it'll make my job lighter because now I can just piggyback off myself from all them jewels that I dropped yesterday. And I can just go on, start and hit the gas button. You guys should be tracking with me. All right. So the picture you looking at on the screen is from a movie that came out in the 80s. And I forgot the name of the movie, so you got to please forgive me. I think it was called Stone Mountain or something like that. Somebody let them know in the chat room. One of my flat earthers out there, they probably know. But I sure enough forgot it. I wrote it down, but I'm so disorganized that I don't got the paper I wrote it down on. I normally put a caption on my pictures, but nevertheless, we're going to keep going. Basically, what we looking at from that movie is Masonic artwork. This was a scene in a movie. Now, when you get to those black and white pillars that represent the sun and moon, the guy in between those black and white pillars represent the creator, right? Because the source is what's spinning the sun and moon and round. It's the source. Everything spins around the source. All right. And if you look at this picture, you can see that the source is in the middle of the eye. That's the all-seeing eye. That would be the black hole, hyperboloid. That would be the pupil. And we can see a scene in this movie of a lady traveling back to the source naked because you're going to travel back to the source just like you came to the earth. So it's a lot of Masonic symbolism in this particular scene from that movie. And by the way, let me point out some. The pairing of the black and white being a polarity in the middle of this art is another way of the Masons doing the yin yang. I don't know if y'all know this, but the referees are all Masons. In order for you to be a referee, you got to be a Mason or affiliated with Masons. And I'm talking about even if you want to be a high school referee. And look, referees wear the black and white stripes like we see these pillars in this scene, because the black and white stripes that the referee wear is just another way of them doing the black and white checkerboard Masonic square grid. The black and white Masonic checkerboard floor, that's Masonic. And also, if you look at early police officers that's like in Britain and all of that, they still wear the Masonic black and white checkerboard. All policemen are Masons, whether they know it or not. And their badge is the sacred bird of the Vatican. So one thing we want to point out is the black and white checkerboard is the same black and white stripes of the referees, because it's the referees that control all of the games. They control who win. They rig up the games. They determine who. All of these people bet millions in a casino, and it all boils down to a referee call. The Masons been had these places of power where they can control the fate of people. Now, you may overlook referee. You may say, man, who would want to be a referee? You may overlook that position of a referee. But guess what? That's a very powerful position, and the Masons have controlled those positions for years. They've made up the bulk of the police force, the referees, the court systems, and all the areas and industries that directly control the fate of people. So you got niggas who will never get a ring because the Masons control all the sports industries, NBA, NFL. And not only are they the referees, you got Masons on the field helping them rig the game. Everything is staged. Everything is controlled by this black and white checkerboard. They even control politics. So understand that this black and white duality was once beautiful when we had this knowledge in the form of the yin yang, but today they use these polarities against us. And let me show you how. When you get concepts like God versus the devil and devil versus God, it creates a polarized effect in our spirituality. Because we got the dual aspects of nature going to war in our spirituality. We got the dual aspects of nature going to war in our physical body, mental body, emotional body, spiritual body, and etc. So what happens is your left brain is going to war with your right brain, and you can't make sense out of reality because a religion gave you the devil versus God, and these are just two halves of yourself. This is the lower and upper half of your own self. And when they tell you that they go on a war, they create conflict within your spirit and within your life. The true spirituality of the black versus white or God versus devil, it was never they was going against each other. They was friends and they worked together. The yin and the yang are not polarizing enemies. The yin is not fighting against the yang. The yin and the yang are opposite symbols that work together because they complement each other. These opposites attract because they complement each other. So when they give you the yin versus the yang, they giving you God versus devil, and they corrupting ancient science. That way you're going to always be going to war inside of your mind. You'll never get it together. Like a dog chasing his tail, you caught in between two polarities, God and devil, when you don't realize that they're one and the same. So God ain't going to war with the devil. They are friends. And God got information to help your life, and the devil got information to help your life. Get out of this good versus evil crap. The two entities of nature was the polarizing elements of nature was never at war. You don't see fire going to war with water when you walk outside, even though they the polar opposite when it comes to elements. You don't see fire battling against water. You see fire and water working together as a team to hold this reality together. And they got to work together with wind and earth. All the elements got to work together. These elements are polarized, meaning they're opposites, but these opposites work in unison and use what make and they make the diversity work for the whole. So when you got God going to war against the devil, that's blasphemy against the ancient science where taught that the dual aspects of nature work together to battle the children on earth, that they weren't going to see. They gave you this thing where God going against the devil and battling for the hearts of man. That's stupid. The two opposing forces of nature work together to battle us all. They was never at war. So the Masons created order out of chaos, but the ancestors had order out of love, order out of balance. Tell me what other way you can get order without balance. Tell me what other way you can get order without balance. When they came with this order out of chaos crap, that's a fake kind of order. That's a new world order. That's the illusion that everything is perfect and calm and normal when the world you live in is hell, man. It's disastrous out there. It's chaos out there. It's mayhem out there. It's a hellhole out there. But you're just as calm because they've ordered chaos. They've made chaos normal. So you can't have order out of chaos. You can only have the illusion of order in a chaotic situation. You got a bunch of people walking around in a chaotic situation, smacking bubble gum, playing damn bubble crush in the vaccination line, waiting to get next with their children in line. Lost. Don't realize they at war. Okay? So we got to wake up. Now let's get into this symbolism so we need to get all of this out, man. And we need to understand at what time it is why there's information coming out. So this stuff been held back from the masses and it's been put into the occult because knowledge is power. And the reason you powerless because you didn't have this knowledge. So now let me give it to you. And keep in mind that you can't have order out of chaos. You can only have order out of balance. The people that created this world, they rule out of chaos. Now let's get into this thing. I just had to break down this thumbnail, the black and white pillars or the polar. That's your Democrat Republican. See, in a real world, Democrats wouldn't be going against Republican. They would all be working together for the greater good. It wouldn't be like a fucking football game. Democrat and smear campaigns and millions of dollars spent on 10-second commercials to talk shit about the other one. It's a big circus. Democrat versus Republican. Raiders versus Steelers. Seahawks versus Jets. It's polarizing everything, is going against each other. Opposition, Korea versus America, world war, everything. Christians versus Muslim. This is how they rule the world. Wouldn't it be a great world if all of these powerful forces work together for the greater good of all the people? That's the kind of world the ancients had. None of these opposing forces was divided, going against each other. They all realized we would all be in deep shit if we didn't work together. That, man, I really need y'all over there, man. And hey, we really need you to work this life thing out, you know. So realize that the people that's in the United Nations, yeah, they united. They don't go to war. The rich people don't send their kids to war. They all sip tea, smoke weed, and watch the war. Watch the poor people blow each other up. And they sit back and watch it like the Hunger Games. If you ever watched that movie Purge or the Hunger Games, how the rich people sit back and watch all the poor people go to war with each other, that's what they telling you in the movie. That's the chaos theory. That's the world we in now. That's the new world order. All of these wars going on, ain't nobody dying but the poor people. You a fool if you think these millionaires, billionaires got their children enlisting. It's the poor people. It's population control. Listen. All the rich stick together. There's only two races, rich versus poor, and that's what them two pillars represent: rich and poor. Now they got y'all divided, but with the illusion of different races. But those two pillars that the Masonics got in the middle of their cosmos tell you the truth: that the only two races is rich and poor in a chaos system. The only two races is rich and poor in a chaos system. I don't care what color you is. Every rich man want the same laws passed. If you don't think those black millionaires want the same laws passed as the white millionaires, you're a fool. You think the black millionaires want to get taxed more just so they can give some of their tax money to the poor? No, they voting the same way that the doggone white people voting for who y'all calling racist. All the rich stick together because they all want to keep their riches, and for them to keep their riches, the poor gotta stay poor so the rich can keep getting richer. So no matter what color you are, we all on the same team if we rich, because, man, I don't want to give up my mansion for these niggas, and the white man don't want to give up his mansion for you niggas. So we all get on the same team once you reach a certain tax bracket. Y'all should know that by now. Niggas' values go to changing. Once they change tax brackets, niggas vote different. Niggas' ideologies change. Don't you know money is a religion? But it's the religion of the rich. And whenever you look at a dollar, pay attention to that "in God we trust," because that all-seeing eye that you see on that "in God we trust" is the eye that's looking at you right now. That all-seeing eye, that's their God. In God we trust. Money is the religion of the rich. All right? That all-seeing eye on that dollar with the light coming from it, that's what you're looking at right now. This is a scene from a movie in the 80s. When you see the all-seeing eye with the light beaming forth from it, They just use the rainbow beaming forth, but that's the light coming from the all-seeing eye. Now let me move on with this symbolism. We ain't even got into the thing yet. Do me a favor, people. Hit the like button and go ahead and share this. Shout out to all my aboriginals. We will be having an open panel to allow for rebuttals and debates or anything you guys may want to say to plug into this series, because we got how many more sections? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 4 more sections after we complete this one. So let's go ahead and now let's switch the screen. And let's hop into the slideshow. Let's get it. Buckle up, people. Let's begin. The intro has been done. And now what we're going to do is get into some more arch symbolism. We know in Mason, the arch degrees are very symbolic degrees. So this arch is very important because, again, for the reasons we went over yesterday, representing the great mother, the pregnant belly, and Nut, all right? So now let's go ahead and get into more secrets of the arch. And before we do that, let's switch here. Now, what are we looking at now? Well, what you need to take from this right here is that the worker bee symbol of industrialism, a honey trap is a person stuck in a stressful work. Meaning of life, sir, the state and the corporations. What you got to realize is the Masonic square and compass is the Egyptian scarab beetle, and also all of the ancient bee goddesses that I was teaching y'all about a while back. We used to go in on the bee goddesses. Well, now I'm gonna need you to remember everything I was teaching you about the bee goddesses. Because the bee goddesses are just matriarchal goddesses that personified the North Pole in a lot of different cultures around the world at one point. And they were just different forms of Ma'at. But all of these goddesses became occult knowledge. So the bee goddess became your square and compass. So when you look at the Masonic square and compass, remember that the colors of Freemasonry is black and gold because it started in Egypt. And the colors of Egypt was black and gold because the earliest religion in ancient Egypt, when you go back to the old kingdoms and the early Egyptians, it was the worship of the bee goddesses and the bees. All right. They had a spiritual system based upon the royal beehive, which became Nut. The beehive is the cosmos. It's just the goddess Nut as a beehive. Anything arch, the ancestors could personify as the goddess. All right. So, what we got to realize is that all of the ancient matriarchal symbols of the goddess is what they use in occult. They corrupt those symbols to serve a chaotic purpose. All right. So they use the symbols against you by making you ignorant to them, telling you about reptilian stuff and all that crap, but we'll get into that later. Just wanted to point that out about the Masons. One thing we want to point out about all of this is that Hathor is the cow goddess that represent magnetism, as we went over in the previous video. And as you can see, the bee goddess was an ancient great seal. That's why it looked just like Horus, looked like the Kanunga. It's a great seal. And what the bee symbol is, all right. Excuse me for a second. I'm losing my train of thought here. Hold on 1 second. Let me go to my notes. I'm kind of disorganized. Bear with me, but we're gonna get it. Hold up 1 second. So, yeah, basically what I want to point out is that Hathor, the cow goddess, represent the same thing the bee goddess represent. In a lot of the ancient cultures, they personified the Taurus field as the cow goddess, and some personified it as the bee goddess. All right, so you had the cows and the bees, these different cultures. You had your cow cultures and your bee cultures. And in the Bible, when the Christians invaded these lands, they said these were the lands that flow with milk and honey. I want you to think about that. The people who personified free energy during that time did it in the form of the cow goddesses and the bee goddesses. And when those ancient cultures were invaded by Christians, the Christians referred to those lands as the lands that flowed with milk and honey, because the milk comes from the cow goddess and the honey comes from the bee goddess. These lands flowed with milk and honey, mean the wisdom of the goddesses. It was the wisdom of the goddesses. The milk was the wisdom of Hathor. The honey was the wisdom of all the bee goddesses. Okay? Hold on a second. All right, so I want you guys to keep that in mind and remember that the North Pole was symbolized as a triangle, meaning a pie slice, meaning a great womb or a magnetic mountain, the divine feminine. And when the patriarchs took over, that triangle became an obelisk to symbolize a hard-on in a man's, undergarment. So they blasphemed the mother and they turned the North Pole is a giant nipple. So if you look at this all-seeing eye, the ancestors also said this was a giant nipple that we all suck on to receive this energy that's creating this present moment. Excuse me. So check out what I'm telling you right now, right? If the North Pole was a giant nipple, one way that the ancestors symbolized reverence to this huge titty was the Madonna and child. All right, hold on, and I'm finna go deep with you. Stay with me. Hit the like button. Hold on. So listen, because I'm about to go deep real quick. The North Pole was symbolized as a nipple, like you looking at a battery from the top view, like I showed y'all yesterday. And the ancestors revered that with the Madonna and child, and they said, we suck that nipple. Now check this out. When that nipple was replaced with a phallus, you get where I'm going here? Men sucking on phalluses today. See, they corrupted us in our spirituality before they corrupted us in reality. Things happen in the spiritual realm before they come to the physical realm. You got men sucking phalluses today because the great nipple was replaced with an obelisk. They did it in their spirituality first. If they can make it okay in the spirit, then you know it ain't nothing wrong with it in the physical. If they can make it natural in your spirit, then your body will do it naturally. So when they replaced the great mother and the Madonna's titty with a pharaoh's phallus, they had a man sucking a cock in all of their ancient spirituality, some sick spirituality. You got a lot of homosexual stories that these Kemetic priests want to hide from you. And I can show you the artwork of Gad bent over sucking his own cock. Because when they replaced the great mother's nipple with a phallus, they had the man sucking on the phallus instead of the Madonna's titty. And I hate to be so graphic, but we got to get this knowledge, y'all. That's why the whole world worshiping the phallus today, and there's so much cock sucking going on. It used to be a bunch of breast sucking going on. But see, when you talk about all of that ancient artwork with the man sucking on the cow titty, it wasn't that they was drinking cow milk. The cow represent the North Pole, so they were saying how we suck on that pole is a huge nipple, a nipple tip. And basically that's the milk of life that's creating the present moment. Like the North Pole is actually stirring the ether. All right, so You know, this is deep stuff because Hathor is just another way to say Hathor, ether. Hathor, the cow goddess, represents the ether or the Taurus field. The H is silent, so it's Hathor or ether. Hathor is the Ethor. The Aethor or Ethor is the ether. Hathor is the Ethor, the ether. So when you see people sucking on a cow titty back on the Egyptian art, you don't supposed to take it literally. You forget that these animals are zoo types. They're concepts. They ain't literal animals. So when you see them sucking on the cow nipple, they pulling energy from the North Pole. That's a symbolic way of saying that because Hathor represents the ether to the Egyptians. But when the dumbed down folks invaded Egypt, they took the artwork literally, and now we drink cow milk today. So I want y'all to see how corrupted the world is and how lost we is. We literally suck on cow titties today because most of the world drink cow milk and it ain't good for you. Most of the world drink cow milk and they slay the cows because they had to slay the cow in the spiritual mythology first. They corrupted it. When they took that stuff literally, now we literally suck on cow titties today. And when they replaced the great mother with a phallus, you got men sucking cock today. So they corrupted the world in spirituality first before they can even create this hellhole of cow people drinking cow pus and milk for breakfast and you know, all of this corruption. It started in the spiritual realm first. All right. Now let's go ahead and get it with this slideshow. Because the people that corrupted these symbols are the Masons, the Illuminati, the all of the higher echelons and secret societies of the world. Now today we're going to be looking at Turtle Island symbolism and showing you how this relates to the missing knowledge of Turtle Island. And again, we're going to be doing it from a sacred geometrical perspective. So now let's roll the slideshow. Okay, so this is a grave site in Germany. And in Germany, one thing is common is the beehive on the grave site. And the reason you got the beehive on the tombstone and the tombstone shaped like a beehive is because what I was telling you yesterday. If you look at this image right here, upon death, we all go back to the North Pole, to the source. It ain't no Santa Claus there. That's where you go and meet the maker. So the compasses is literally pointing to the source that created everything. So when I talk about the space program hiding God and putting space in between you and the source, they got you ignoring where the compass is pointing, and they got you looking all up in the sky thinking about diamond planets and super earths and all kind of crazy crap, nebulas and fullerenes and plasmids, deceiving you, pointing you in the wrong direction when these compasses is telling you where the maker is, right here in our presence with us. Earth is a temple. Why do you think the ancient cosmos shaped like a Muslim mosque? Nut is the dome. Nut is the mosque. Earth is a sanctuary, and the reason the sanctuaries are more cleaner than the earth is because we forgot that. Ain't no reason for these children to be walking around polluted, dirty environments, but they step up in the church and it's pristine clean. Earth is the sanctuary, and when you realize that, you'll treat earth better than you treat these pulpits. Ain't no reason for the church to be clean, for the dang on church to be cleaner than the water you drink. The moss pristine clean, but the water you drink filthy and polluted because you ain't got no respect for nature. That you got every respect for a doggone God that you can't see. Forgetting that the church and the body is the earth and the human. Can't no building compete with that. So when you look at this kind of artwork and you go back to this, how these people do their burial sites with the royal beehive, you see that this is the cosmic eye. This cosmic eye was corrupted. Let me show you something. It's the reason why I do what I do. NASA giving you this crap. This what? Listen, man. NASA taking $70 million plus a day to give you this pretty computer generated image. If you think they flew up in the sky and found the big ass eyeball in space, you got to be a fool. You got to be a fool if you think they went up in space and found a floating eyeball. You walking on the all-seeing eye, the ground you walk on, man. And the dome that's above you is the eyeball. We're walking around a flat plane right inside of this eye. And the atmosphere is the eyeball, the dome over it. But this is a flat circle inside of a dome ball. That's what the earth is. I've been showing y'all all the cosmology. The most high is the moist eye. I keep telling y'all that, but y'all think I'm sounding like a fool. The most high is the moist eye. The moist eye became the most eye, or the most high is the most eye. I am that I am. It's the eye, the cyclops of Greek mythology. But you see NASA still giving you the cyclops, but they doing it in the form of space programming, hiding the true meaning, corrupting the symbols. And then when you look at the what they got, the I think it's the NASA cosmic eye. They got the Dogon Conunga. Let me show you. Here it is. If you think NASA went up in the sky and found this eyeball floating in space, you got to be a damn fool. You got to be a special kind of fool if you think that NASA went up in the sky and found the Dogon Conunga floating up there. No, they didn't do it. They found the dang on symbols from your ancestors and they selling them back to you with this expensive ass program. $70 million a day just to give you the same science the ancestors was giving you in a corrupted form. Hold up a second. Hold up a second, let the trash man leave because he too loud. All right, let's get it back popping, man. So one thing I want to point out is that this Dogon Conunga was plagiarized and NASA sold it back to your children in a form of fake knowledge and a so-called NASA cosmic eye. And this is the Dogon Conunga plagiarized. And you bought this for $70+ million a day. This is a fancy painting. $70 million a day to get fancy paintings from NASA. You think they found this in space? You got to be a fool if you think they rolled up in space and found the damn eyeball. All the ancients knew the truth that Earth is Turtle Island. Earth is a big eyeball. We're walking around the eye of the Most High. That's the eye that sees all. Think about what I'm telling you. They tell you the Most High see everything. Why? Why do the Most High see everything? Because you're walking on top of the Most High. The ground you walk on is sacred ground. The Most High see everything because the very ground you walk on is part of the eye. It's part of that. You're walking on a giant eye, so it sees everything. You know, you can't escape it because it literally is the ground you walk on. Like I've been showing you on the previous videos, it's a ripple effect. You know, our cosmos, and that's what this is. So not to be too redundant, just to show you that this I concept that the ancestors was giving us for the cosmos was corrupted by the modern space programs. There's only one truth. They giving you, this is programming, people. All of this is programming. There's only one truth, and that's this right here. All right, now let's get back on track here. So the beehive is Nut. And the reason that the ancestors used the beehive is because the beehive has the spirals in it. Those spirals represent the way the sun and moon go up and down the magic mountain, the way we wrap lights around a Christmas tree. So if the earth is a giant magnetic mountain, these different layers that you see in this image right here represent the different circuits. For example, as the sun and moon make a circuit above us, as they go toward the source, they ascend. And as they go away from the source, they descend. So it's a Christmas tree spiral type pattern. And another way to represent that is just these different layers of the atmosphere. Because the sun and moon are following those different ley lines. The wandering stars are following those different ley lines, because what we call in the wandering stars are the suns and moons of other planes of existence. And each plane is its own little dome or toroidal field. That's why you have all of these different, you know, layers within this dome, because it's a multi-layered system. You know, so I want you to keep this in your mind, because this is the seven heaven concept. We know there are 7 colors in a rainbow. And when you see this multi-layered triangle, this is how you get the planet Saturn. What do you mean, Brother Sanchez? That's how we get the planet Saturn. Let me show you. Look at here. What we just looked at on a previous slide is this area. This is the Great Mother's vagina. This is Nut. When you see the goddess Nut bent over, this is Nut. And this plane is a plate. Remember yesterday I was telling you that the dome is on a platter, and I showed you the dude with the silver platter. And when he open up the platter, the steam come out. That's the atmosphere. I went over this yesterday. I showed y'all the silver platter, which is Nut with the dome on the plate. That's how they serve the rich people their food. The plate is the dielectric inertia plane. And the doggone dome is Nut. So that's Nut and Geb. You know, that's a way of looking at this. This is Saturn. That's a witch hat. That's the hat the Pope always wearing. When you say, why the Pope got on a witch hat? He is Saturn worship. Saturn is fake. This is not no real planet in space. This is all computer imagery. What they doing is giving you the ancient conception of Earth. So when you look at this Saturn concept and you look at this, you can see it's all the same. When you enter the eye, you from this view, you don't see the rings around this thing because it's a close-up view. But this is that multi-layered delta, that triangle, that eye that we see what everybody talking about with Saturn. So this is Saturn worship. And like I said, this is Nut, and this ring is Geb. This is Nut and Geb. And just to bring this home, I'm going to be redundant today. I'm going to go on and be redundant because today's section is not as it's not as long as yesterday's section. This is a short section. I'm not going to be going over all the etymology because if you want to do that, you can watch yesterday's video. I ain't going to be that redundant. Today, I'm just going to re-point out the symbolism, but I ain't going to get into all the wordplay. And I did that yesterday. I'm not going to reteach the same thing. So here, you got the dome and you got the gab, which is the plate laid out flat. So the dielectric inertial plane and the dome being nut. Here it is right here. And here it is right here in the form of Saturn. And again, here it is right here in this movie from the 80s. Now that we got that out the way, I think we can move on to the next slides. Thank y'all for being patient. By the way, I'm not looking at the chat, but I will be looking at it in a minute. See what y'all talking about out there. So again, that brings us back to here. When you see the beehive with the different little multi-layered the stripes on it, the ancestors used the beehive because it shows you how the earth is made. The earth is a dome, but it's a multi-layered system of domes, and each dome is just the atmosphere to another plane. So when I keep showing you the dome with the plate on a silver platter, you got to double that up, and you got like a bunch of domes within domes. You got a bunch of smaller domes inside of bigger domes, and it just keep getting bigger as you go outward till you just got this infinite fractal code of domes within domes, and each dome is connected to a plane of existence. So you got torus fields within torus fields, and that's what you are. The human body is a torus field within a torus field called Earth. There's only one code, and that's the torus. And that's why on our tombstone, this is the gateway. Like I told you, we don't die. We just keep being reborn and reborn. Energy can't cease to exist. It can only be transmitted. You determine where you are transmitted based upon your level of awareness when you leave this body. So when we look at these tombstones, if we're looking at cosmic science, we're looking at the gateway. We're not only looking at the pregnant belly of your future mama, because when they plant you in the ground, that's exactly what they're doing. Your body is a seed that they plant in the ground to regrow you in another plane. This is science. This is magic. They give you back to Mother Nature. They put you back on that dielectric inertial plane, and your energy flows through the bottom of Sheol, and it rains back down again from the top. And as it rains back from the dome again, in microcosm, we see a woman getting pregnant and her stomach starts swelling up because she's catching that soul. All right. And that soul is coming from the cosmic mother, which is Nut right here, the gateway. So the arch is a gateway. The pregnant belly is a gateway, allowing a soul to re-enter a reality. All right. So death is not death, it's life. Every time you die, you just wake up in the hospital again in the next classroom. In the next, it's a never-ending story. That's what Disney was telling you, and that's what the arts represent. The reason it's never-ending is because it's multi-layered. It's multi-layered. You know how many layers of existence and realities and experiences you got to go to before you reach the source? The source represents infinity. You got to go through infinity to reach the source. So you realize that you will never reach the source because the source ain't far away. You are the source emanating. When you get all the way up there to where this dude at who's saying he God, you realize there's nobody there. It's just a mirror there, and it's reflecting you. You were the light shining. All this time you was walking down a dark path. And you was walking down that dark path toward a light. And you thought that light was the source. But when you made it to it, you realized it wasn't even a light. It was a mirror. And you was the light. You was just walking towards yourself, family. Take a minute and think on that. So at the end of the path of darkness is a light. But once you make it to the light, you realize the truth, that it wasn't a light. It was a mirror. You were the light, and you were walking to yourself. You were looking at your reflection in the distance. That's what we realize the source is. It's the true mirror that reflects the essence of all things. All right? It is what it is. All right? It's all things and no things, because it's simply a mirror. That's what you realize when you make it to the entry, when you make it to the source. Okay? Now, let's get back to the slide. And again, now we see the reverence of the beehive. We understand that it's the eyeball, the eye of the Most High. And this is the Mount Meru, where the source sits upon this mountain. This is where the Most High sits upon this mountain. Okay? And so we see that here in this image. And as we die, we go back to the source. And that is the queen bee. She manufactures the bees. She gives birth to every bee in the hive. And when you leave the body, you go back to the queen bee. This is the Masonic truth. That's why I showed you the Masonic image previously, so we can tie it into this. So when we talked about the bee reverence in Masonic art, it's because this is a plagiarization of the ancients. We all revered the bees. The bees are insect directly connected to the magnetic energy of the earth. And when they disappear, we're in trouble. You can study the bees to learn what's going on with the inner workings of the earth. Now, that's exactly what the ancients did, and they personified the beehive as the cosmos, the seat of the Most High. And we know the cosmic journey take place through Nut, through the toroidal, the primordial seeds of Nu. But that's what we see in here. This is a treasure chest, all right, a gateway. And let's go to the next slide. We see the bee reverence now. And in all early Christian art, we see the bee reverence. And again, the beehive is Nut. Ain't no need to talk about that. Go to the next slide. And Nut is, again, the tombstone is the womb stone. So this is a big womb preparing you for the next life. All right, all of these people telling you that there's no life after death, they're fools. Get out of that YOLO concept that you only live once. That's crazy. Energy can't cease to exist. So when we look at, when it said, give us this day our daily bread, we talking about the cosmic day, the cosmic night, the cosmic rebirthing. All right. That day and night in between lifetimes, when you close these eyes for the last time, you open your new eyes for the first time on a new plane of existence. You're passing the baton. It's a race. And the conscious is just being transferred to different avatars on different planes of existence that it's able to calibrate on. It's not going to respawn you on a plane that your energy can't handle. It's going to put you, just like we put certain age children in the 2nd grade, certain age children go in the 4th grade. We don't put 5 years old in the 12th grade. So you born on whatever dome you born in, show what level your aura, your spirit vibrating on while it was born here for this realm. But you don't supposed to stay here. You're supposed to move on up the stairway to heaven to higher realms. And that's what death is. It's graduation. See, when you say graduate, it's the word gradual. When you traveling up a mountain, you're traveling gradually, like we travel from kindergarten to 12th grade. And the reason you stop at 12th grade because you're traveling through the zodiac. It's 12 signs in the constellation. It's 12 signs of the zodiac. So you got 12 grades that you travel through gradually, and you take it step by step. And that's what the OJs was telling you. Stairway to heaven, step by step. When you see the woman climbing the stairway toward the Most High right there in the background, she got to cross each color. Each color is a step. It's a plane of existence that you got to live and die in and go through. You got to pass through all of these rites of passage for you make it back to the source. You got to put on the body, and you got to put on many different bodies as you ascend up the mountain. So you came here to put on this body, and this body was built for this realm. But as you move up, you got new high-tech bodies for higher realms of understanding if you're ready to vibrate on that level. And the closer you move up to the source, the better these avatars get to. You finally get to the source. You are a perfected avatar that's equivalent of the source. That's the story of life. That's the cosmic journey. That's why all of this stuff is related together in sacred geometry. Like I said, a tombstone is the womb stone. When they put you in the tomb, they basically put you in the womb, in the belly of your next mama. That's why it's shaped like a belly, a pregnant belly. A tombstone is a womb stone. And the reason it's a stone is because if you watch the previous video, the stone is at the North Pole. The magic mountain is a magnetic mountain that reattracts your soul back to the great mother, so she can plant your consciousness back in another mother for your next journey. Hopefully she don't say you flunked and got to come back here. Now, the tombstone, like I said, is the womb stone. That's why the pizza is the pie. Pi is a formula. We went over it yesterday. We talked about pi being the vagina. All right. This is all related to the divine feminine. This is a pie slice. It's shaped like a dome, but a dome is also a triangle. You can make a sharp pointed triangle, or you can make a smooth pointed triangle called a dome. Either way it go, it's still 3-pointed, and it's still the vagina, the pregnant belly, and the goddess. It's the delta. The diamond. All right. So that's important to realize as we move forward. We can move forward now. All right. We syncing everything with this. All right. More Christian art. And again, a Christian is plagiarization. We need to get out of the church. But you can't lie. That's some beautiful art, buddy. That's some beautiful stuff, man. And it's beautiful for a reason. They can't half step with this antiquity. They got to make it appealing to you. But it's simple geometry. And what you looking at is the sacred horseshoe. Why is the horseshoe lucky? Because it's Nut. It represents the goddess Nut. All right. And the reason the horseshoe is associated with the 777s is because, let me tell you something, folks. It takes 3 sevens to make a triangle. I think what I'll do right now, I'll pull up one of my collages just to help y'all out real quick. Because I do got some collages that can help you with the numerology. Hold up a second. I'm going to give you right now what I'm going to do. I'm going to break down 777 and the triangle, right? And the triple goddesses a lot. We'll do that in the future. We'll get into the triple goddesses. But right now we're going to crawl forward, walk. And I'm going to take a moment now to blow y'all away real quick. We got time. We got time. Hold on a second. 1 second. Boom. Let's pull this one out. All right. This is an old collage I made. Now, as you look at this, what you want to realize is everything is everything. The monster is the great goddess. When they give you the monster drink with the claw rips, they giving you the triple goddesses. 3 strikes, you're out. 3 strikes, you're out is because in baseball, the baseball field shaped like a big pussy. It's sex magic, people. The bat hitting the ball, all right, knocking it out the park, beating the brakes off that pussy. When you say you knocked it out the park, this is, you hit the home run, you scored, you know, all of this we use in sports is sex magic. The sports games is Masonic, is all tied to sex magic, because that's what the cosmos based upon, sex, polarity, sun and moon, man and woman, all right, and the binding of the two to create new life, being the child or the Gale. So this is a trinity, what we talking about. It became Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or 777. See, the thing about 777 is that it takes 3 angles to make a triangle. And when you take them 3 sevens and stick them together, you make a triangle. But when you add them together, you get the number 21, which is the number 3, which is the number that's associated with the Trinity angel, which is Ma'at, or the triangle. See, the triangle is the Trinity angel. That's Ma'at. That shape represents the pussy. And that's what the capital T is. The balance, the scales, is the uterus. Okay? So the monster and the claw rips is the pregnant belly. That's a new soul ripping into it reality. When you're born, you rip into the fabric of existence and you occupy space on the horizon line that wasn't there before you was born. So you rip into this reality like a monster. And that's what the monster is, the moon star, because a lot of people, including a lot of ancient cultures, say that the soul makes its journey through the moon. And the moon is a wandering star. So the moon star is how the baby, see, the thing is this, the moon is like a pregnant egg constantly giving birth to souls. It's a doorway. And the phases of the moon is really a door that's opening and closing, allowing life or light to enter and exit. So during a full moon, a lot of souls are coming through that door because it's wide open. During the half moon, the doorway is halfway open and only souls are coming through that can fit through the door halfway. When it's a real sliver, they squeezing through. So they said during a full moon, it's a lot of crazy activity going on because a lot of souls coming onto the earth while that egg is open. It's like a doorway, the moon. And the phases is like how you open the door and close the door. That's the phases of the moon. But what I'm doing is I'm linking this in with the monster symbolism because the stretch marks that's on your mama pregnant belly, they call that the monster symbol. It's all about pregnancy, people. Remember, Buddha is a corruption of the great mother who was pregnant. I went over that yesterday. Watch the previous stream. This is deep stuff we doing in this series. So we know that Ma'at is the trident. Okay? She became the devil and the pitchfork, as we see in all of these symbolism. So 777 are the 3 angles that create the triangle. Literally in sacred geometry, when you look at the number 7 like a symbol, a sacred geometric shape, and you add it together, all the 7s, you get a triangle, because the 7 is just a step. It's a stairway. It's an angle. That's why it means completion, because every time you move, go a step on a step, that's the number 7. A stairway is made out of a bunch of 7s, and each step you take represent completion, or the number 7. So every week is a step up the magic mountain, or 7 is a circuit of 7, right? And there's a completion of one step and it start over, you take another step. So the number 7 is related to the number 7 or Saban, and also which was related to the number step or Stephan. So Steptos or Septos is what's the 7th month. Septos, September, became 7. All right. And we went into that in our September 23 series. You need to go back and watch that. We break down the Lion of Judah symbolism and the Septos and the number 7 and the lion that swings the scepter, because that is the angle that's bent. All right. We'll get into that. That angle is the arch, which is the great mother. And there's a bunch of great mothers. As you move up the mountain, you find out she is a mirror reflection of herself. It's a holographic reality. So Nut, there's a bunch of goddesses, and you are graduating up. Each goddess is basically a step. So you're born in and out of existence through the mother, and her pregnant belly represents the number 7, or a mountain, or a step, an arch. Each pregnancy, when you come in and out of reincarnations, is a step that's getting you closer to the source, because each realm you born in is a different higher realm than the next, and a different, more intelligent body. And the realm is more intelligent with intelligent beings, all the way up to you get all the way up to the source, where It's just nothing but godly beings that's emanating on the light frequency of the source. But you born through the woman, and that's what this portal represent, the gateway. And that's why I keep showing you this symbol in Christian art, because it's all a gateway. All right. And that's what this doorway represent. When you enter the church, you enter the belly of the beast, or the dome. That's why the church and the mosque shaped like a big belly, a big pregnant belly, because everything is about the journey of your conscious soul being born over and over again through these realities. And it happens through the vagina, which is represented by the trident and the great mother in front of you. I made a collage. They corrupted that and they turned her to the monster. Okay, to hide this stuff, to make it the beast and, you know, Saturn moon matrix and corruption and spookism. The devil, you know, the devil ain't meant nothing but the diva, which is the great mother, Hathor. That's the bull, that's the beast. So don't be scared, because the serpent represents the one that creates the present. When you rearrange the word serpent, it becomes present, because the serpent is right in wrapped around a tree, and that's the present moment. See, the serpent is in the middle spot where Ma'at is, where the aboriginals wear their feathers at. See, the aboriginals don't know that the reason the Indians wore the feather is because they worship Ma'at. Hit the like button, people. We schooling them now. You can't talk too much crap about Egypt, you aboriginals, because the reason that the natives over here was wearing a feather, because they was in tune with the same great mother that the Egyptians worship, Ma'at. She wore the feather. Now show me a deity on this American soil that wore a feather before Ma'at. I'll wait. Now this is a point for the African team. So I'm showing you I'm non-biased here. I'm in the middle, because what I'm doing is I'm representing the North Pole. I'm neutral. Flat power is neutral. We ain't Aboriginal or Africa. We ain't with the polarity. We telling you to get back to the middle, to the great mother. These abos don't know where the feather come from. It comes from Ma'at. So everybody had the same symbolism. I'm just giving it back to you. When you talk about Jesus on the cross with the two thieves surrounding him, that's Ma'at with the two scales surrounding her. The Most High with the sun and moon surrounding it. The sun and moon is the aura of the Most High. The Most High got an aura, and the Most High's aura is what creates our night and day. That's the light of the Most High. So when the sun and moon is going around, if you take the N and the D, excuse me, when you take the words, when you take the N and D, when you take the N and D off of the word around, you get aura. All right. Thank y'all for bearing with me. You know, it's always traffic going on in my house. The aura goes around you. So when you say around, you got to say aura just to say the word around. You know why? Because the aura goes around. So when you saying around, another way to spell aura is A-R-O-U. Remember, A-R-O-U is the root word of arousal. So this arousal, this sex magic is what make the world go round. And the sun and moon is having sex. That's arousal. They arouse with each other. That's a man and a woman. Hold on 1 second, people. So I'm sorry about the interruptions, people. But like I was saying, your aura is your around body. It goes around your body. It's your aura. And that's why we say around. Around, arousal, aura, carousel is all the same thing. Okay? Aura goes around. Now let's and we know that we know we already went over this, so we understand that's the gateway, which is the womb that we're born through, the mother, and the microcosm expression of the spiritual great mother, the cosmic mother, is your biological mother that gave birth to you in the hospital. All right, she bled and it was painful, just the way we explained yesterday that the North Pole is making a constant sacrifice to create this very moment. So the Creator is awesome because it is sacrificing so that we can have life. In other words, the moment the Creator stopped meditating, existence breaks apart. This existence is the very sound, vibration, and meditation, a conscious thought of the Most High right now creating this very moment. And the moment the Most High wake up, we go to sleep and we become back one with the source. This reality is the Most High sleeping, dreaming, and dividing itself. This is holographic. This is like a virtual reality that we're in. To go back to the source is to cut the projection stream off, and there's no triangulation coming from that all-seeing eye, that projection stream, to cast a picture onto the wall. So when I show you the platter, the silver platter with the plate under it, that's a projection machine casting a picture on the wall. You got to look at the dome as a triangle of light. That's what Pink Floyd was telling you. That's what Nut is. She ain't a physical dome. She's a dome made out of the light. The conscious light was creating the barriers of this virtual reality. The ends of the world is the ends of the thought that's creating this very moment. It's a meditated thought. When you say, where does it end? Wherever the Most High stopped thinking, the barrier that creates the edge of the world, and that's the North Pole. The end is toward the center, not the outside. The outside is the aura. The end of the world is on the inside. That's why you call it the end, because you travel the inner earth. The compasses are pointing you to the edge of the earth. It's the end. Now, people are traveling south to go to the edge. You'll never reach an edge because it goes on and on and on. It's multi-layered. You will never reach an end of the earth traveling outward, because it's just going to be endless planes of existence, infinite planes that go on and on and on. The only way you can reach the edge or the end of the cosmos is to travel back to the source, and that's the center, just like you see in this image. So there's no other way to reach the edge or the end of the earth other than going to the North Pole. All right? And that's where everything breaks down to the point of singularity. So the word end is really I-N. So E-N-D is a synonym for I-N. N is end. We go in to reach the end. Hold on, people. Okay, people, we're going to go ahead and go to the next slide. This right here is just a Hebrew conception of the cosmos. Again, this is Toadstool from Mario. This is the pirate hat. And if you look at any Masonic ritual attire, you'll see them wearing this hat in Masonic attire too. You'll see Aleister Crowley wearing this hat. Let me see if I can find it for you. Everything they do is cosmology. Each of his hands represent this one. This is the sun. This is the moon. This is the all-seeing eye that they go around. So when you look at him, you're looking at this. I want y'all to really open up your third eye and see these symbolism. They work in cosmic science with you. He's forming his body. This is occult ritual. All of their ritual is cosmic symbolism. In case you don't realize what's going on, let me do something else. In case you don't realize what you're looking at. Hold on, wait for it, wait for it. Wait for it. Here's the Masonic flat earth cosmology that they teach they high-ranking initiates, but why they got you believing in the globe. These people got a monopoly on the knowledge. Now, when you look at this Freemasonic art, this is what Aleister Crowley's showing you. You know who else showing you the same thing? All of your celebrities, all of your rappers, they all been sold out. So Kanye West, you know, he giving you the same thing. They all sold out. All of your queens, your kings, everybody working for the Vatican, the Queen Elizabeth, and the UN, hiding the true shape of the earth. Because you know why? Let me show you. The shape of the earth happens to be a giant Tesla coil. And if they let everybody know the shape of the earth, they'll also be letting everybody know how to create free energy. And you know they can't have that. Look at here. Them two pillars, it's a giant Tesla coil, people. So when you talk about why flat earth is important, free energy is important. I keep telling people that the shape of the earth is an ancient patent that show you how to make free energy. Look at this. This is a Tesla coil. But what are you looking at? Mount Meru. Check this out. Check this out. Look at this step pyramid. This is Mount Meru. You got it at the Mayan cosmos too. The ancestors said that the North Pole is a huge Tesla coil. Listen, I got news for you folks. You know the step pyramids we seeing around the world? You know why the number 7 is important? Because each step is the number 7. You're actually looking at military rank. You're looking at a chevron. This is why the military got their rank like that. Don't you know when you say chevron, you saying 7? The word chevron used to be the word savon. So military rank is a rink, is a step, a ripple is a rink, a rank, a step, a rink, rank, step, a ring around Saturn. So a rink is a rank or a ring. Every time you get a Super Bowl, you get a ring. Every time you get married, you get a ring. We put rings on women. We use rings to symbolize completion because the ring is the number 7. Each step is a ring around the pyramid. It's a giant Tesla coil. All right, this is military rank because this is the stairway to heaven. You coming closer to the source every time you die and be reborn. And it's a rank system. So every time you get close to the source, they add another stripe because a stripe is a strip. All right, and a strip is a step. A step is a stripe. Remember, the referee is Masonic with the stripes. Remember that the Joker got a striped face because he represents the polarity. The Joker's face is the sun and moon. He's one creature with a dual polarity. That's nature. Ma'at with the 2 scales. All right, the Joker's face. 2 sides of a coin. Currency, power. 7, chevron, military rank. All right, the step is the chevron. All right. So this is all plagiarization because you know at the middle of the earth is a giant step pyramid, which is not just there for decoration. Is actually a huge Tesla coil that's creating this holographic reality. I don't think y'all understand, grasping, how deep this shit is. When you look up at the night sky, you basically looking at the ley lines of light that's coming from a huge Tesla coil. So when you look at the light of sparks that's coming from this Tesla coil, they're basically taking pictures of that and selling it back to you for this fake ass universe. All these fake ass lights for this fake ass universe that they giving you. Where are they stealing this stuff from? Because all of this is bull crap. This is where they stealing it from. This is where they create space at, people, from Earth. It's green screen is made from Earth. The beautiful pictures, they're beautiful, but it's just knowledge they stole from Tesla. All the beautiful little galaxies and shapes and planets and the night sky is the night sky is being projected from the ground. So this is a huge projection machine that's actually pitching a tent outward, and we call that life. Everything is made of light, vibration, even the ground you walk on, even yourself. So if this middle part of the all-seeing eye is the North Pole, everything being born from that is what we call reality. That's what you got to realize. It's a holographic universe. When we go, what a compass is pointing us to where everything is being projected from. All compasses is pointing us to where everything is being projected from. We live inside of an all-seeing eye. And in the middle of that eye is the pupil. All right? And see, everything we do is in rings or ranks as we get promoted. And that's all I wanted to point out real quick as we move on. Step is 7, and I touched on that on a lot of previous videos. You can catch up on it. But I'm going to move to the next point. But one thing I'm going to point out is the Tesla coil became Thor's hammer. This is a Thor's field. And this became the hammer of Thor. All right. Now let's move on, because I'm doing this from the perspective of schooling the Aboriginals on Turtle Island, because the Masonic cosmos is Turtle Island, and until you reveal the mysteries of the slow turtle, you won't know thyself. See, your soul travels slower than your body, but it gets further than your body will ever go. Let me say that again, because this is the mystery of the slow turtle. Your soul travels slower than your body, but it's gonna go places your body can't go, to heavenly places. And it will project your body on lower planes from those heavenly places, because everything is about projecting from the true you is in the heavens. Everything in this realm is the picture that's being projected from the projector machine. You don't look at the projector machine and watch the movie. You look at the image on the wall that's being projected from that eyeball. But you are the eyeball. The reality is the image, but it's not you. When you go back to the source, you go back inside of that projector machine and see who creating the picture. So when you talk all seeing eye, excuse me, I don't know what the hell going on. All seeing eye. Here you go. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. See? This your all-seeing eye is a huge projection machine creating this picture that we call life. And as it blinks, it's night and day, night and day, night and day. That all-seeing eye blinks and spins around. So this is a spinning projection machine that's blinking night and day, night and day. It's a cyclops in the sky. And That's what the triangle of life is. This is what Pink Floyd was telling you. Everything is being projected from a source, but the projection machine is the true self, not the image on the wall. That's the reality we're within. So when you go to all seeing eye with the triangle and the pyramid, is all projection. They hiding the secrets of our reality, y'all. This the Christmas tree with coming from with the all-seeing eye on top being the star at the top. And here it is right here. So the Polaris is the brightest star in the sky, but it's furthest away. That's a lesson you can learn. The star that's farthest away from us got the brightest shine. You would think that the shine would be dimmed out since it's so far away. But it's not, because it's so bright that if it was any closer, it would just dominate the sky. So it got to get so far away because you can't handle the shine, can't touch this. You got to get on the level of Polaris to get up there to the seat of the Most High. And you got to work your way through the polarized realities, through the polarities, through these poles. You're being bounced around these worlds going up the mountain as you go to the source. The stars are the stairs. The soul takes the pathway of light through the star system to travel back to the source. And the stars are the stairs. If you take the I off the word stair, it becomes star. The stairway to heaven is the starway to heaven. It's projection. It's light projection. Your conscious spark is being ping-ponged up to the heavens through the stars. And basically, you can look at it this way. We all ride up the magic mountain to the source, but we all take a different animal. So if you can look at all of these humans born in and out of existence, making our journey back to the source through series of life and death and reincarnations, another way to look at that is we're bouncing our consciousness through the stars to make it to these next realms of existence. That's how you came here. You traveled through a star grid. Your soul know the map. It came here to regroup. This is a place it can learn and then go to the next place. But what's going on is projection. And if you think of all these souls traveling up the starway or the stairway to heaven, this magic mountain to the source, we all using a different animal. So it's taking us different speeds. Like some of us riding a turtle, some of us riding a horse, some of us riding a crocodile. Now we all traveling up this mountain, but we using a different animal to get there. And when I say a different animal, meaning we are ascending up to the heavens through a different area of the sky, or a different zoo type, a different zodiac, a different constellation. You entered this earth through a particular angle or gateway. Your birthday, the way the sky was, that's the animal that you rode to this plane of existence. So if you a Scorpio, then you rode the back of a scorpion to make it here. You know, this is how the ancestors looked at the zoo types. And you see this in a lot of Disney movies where they got the different characters riding on the backs of flying animals and flying dragons to make it the different worlds. That's the journey of the soul, traveling the zodiac. The zodiac is the animals. So we all ride a different animal up the magic mountain depending on your frequency, depending on what animal you choose to ride up there. Some of you prissy women, you may want to take a pony. So you born, these animals represent the different gateways that different frequencies make it back to the same source. If you got an infinite amount of ways to make it to the same place, you better believe everybody ain't just going to pick the same one. Different energy is going to say, well, hey, I want to take this way. I want to use this way. Well, I want to go this speed. Well, I think I'm going to do 30 miles per hour. No, man, I'm trying to do 60 miles per hour. So the universe got everybody grouped by your frequency, how fast you want to travel up the mountain and what animal you want to choose is your zodiac, your zoo type. That's how you entered the cosmos through that particular angle of the sky of that animal. So you rode that particular sign to existence. You know, like I said, if you're a Scorpio, you rode the back of a scorpion to this plane. When you leave here, just like you had a birth date, you're going to have a death date. And whatever the death date is your new birth date for your next life. So when people die and you write down a death date, that's really their new birth date in their next life. Because there's no such thing as death. Now, whatever the sky look like when a person die, whatever day it is when you die, that's the day it is you being born into your next realm. So I was born on November 22nd in this realm, which meant I died, 9 months to that in my previous life. You can do the math. Y'all see where I'm going with this. I'm trying to rush through it, but you get the concept. Whatever the sky look like when you die is whatever animal you riding out of this place. So I'm a Scorpio, meaning I rode the back of a scorpion into this earth. But what if I die and my death date makes me a Taurus? Then I rode out of here on the bull. So you don't necessarily take the same animal that you ride out with. We normally don't, because when you come here, the purpose is to change your frequency. Earth is a great passing, and it's meant to calibrate your spiritual energy. So when you leave here, it'll be something new than what you before you landed. So you was born a certain sign, but when you die, the sky gonna be a totally different sign, because your mind gonna be a totally different mind. The sky is synced to you. So your death date is your future birth date. I hope y'all see how I'm tying this together. And you made a road into this reality as a Libra, meaning you rode, the goddess brought you in with the scales or whatever, which path you took. But you may leave out of here a Scorpio, meaning, okay, I rode in a Taurus on the back of a bull, but when I left out, my death date made me leave out on the back of a scorpion. So that's how you look at the zodiac. It's linked to the journey of the soul, and the gateways is the turning of the sky wheel. So it's like a combination code, and when your number is called, you pop out the box. Jack pop out of this box right here. So Aboriginals, I'm giving you the purpose why I'm going into this Aboriginals is also to give you the cosmic journey that was corrupted, that the Masons hid. But I'm gonna make that a whole future lecture. Because I don't want to take up too much time on the afterlife journey. But basically, everybody hiding that from you. These guys ain't scared to die. They don't have no fears about death, man, because they know the shit that I'm telling you. But they got you scared, thinking I'm going to burn in hell if I don't obey. They got everybody obedient because they hid the truth, people. Now, let's get back with this, man, because what we looking at here is an ancient Hebrew cosmos, and this is what Kanye West and them was showing you in their Masonic poses. Now, let's keep the slide moving. Again, the ancestors knew that the best way to build was the way the Most High built. We still build our houses this way. It shapes like the alphabet called an A, because the A is the first. And this first concept of laying a foundation with the nut dome and the house being a dielectric inertial plane and the Sheol bowl being all the bowels and sewage systems working under the house. The chimney allow the gases to escape out the top, just like the firmament dome, and the Sheol bowl allow the heavy liquids to descend to the bowels of the earth. So it's a way to organize the energy. Same with your house. Smokes ascend, heavier things descend. So you got a sewage system and a chimney to allow the ghosts or the smoke out, and then a bowel system to allow the heavier things out the ground. And the earth is built the same way we build our house. Just like the cosmos, Sheol is a sewage system. It flushes you down, and the firmament opening, the sky vault, is a chimney that flushes you up. So when you die, you go up and down. You split from yourself. The body bonds the higher self with the lower self, but when the body no longer is there to bond them together, they split and each one go back to its source. So the higher self go back to the firmament and the lower self descend. When we die, we go to heaven and hell at the same time, and one becomes the sperm and one becomes the egg. And when you reunite with yourself after your body make the number 8 and travel through the toroidal sphere, and your two energies remarry and reconnect, that's when you be born again in your next mama on the next plane. That's how your energy travel. It splits and it makes a circuit like the sun and moon. Higher self and lower self is your sun and moon, your subconscious and consciousness. It travels the plane just like the sun and moon when you leave the body. And it starts to orbit inside of another plane of existence. So you got a higher sun and moon above you creating this reality. And you have a sun and moon within yourself, creating your own personal experience in relation to this one. And you can look at that inner sun and moon as left and right brain, the devil and the angel on each shoulder. When the body goes out of existence, there's no shoulder for that devil and angel to stand on. So that devil and angel go back to their masters. The devil and you go back to hell, and the angel and you go back to heaven. And it looked like the number 8. And they meet back up on another plane of existence, and they put together your body, the torso with the bottom half. So it's even can be seen on a biological level. Okay. So what we gotta realize is that everything is the marrying of polarities, even yourself to be in the body. It's the marrying of the torso with the bottom half of the body, and the marrying of the left and right brain, the marrying of the mama and the daddy to create you. But even prior to that, you being a Cupid exercising the law of attraction, marrying yourself. Because when you die, you split. And part of you become an egg, and the other half of you become a sperm trying to find an egg. So you're trying to find yourself. And you see this light in the darkness. And you think you going back to the source, but when you get there, you realize it was just the egg is a mirror. It was reflecting you, which the sperm is the spark, you the light traveling to yourself. So when you make it back to yourself, the sperm enters the egg, and now your higher and self and lower self completed the cosmic journey, and it's time to be born again in the next mama. But our house is built just like the cosmos. And this architecture is why we able to still build stable structures today, because the Most High gave us the code. That's all I'm doing, showing you the simple symbolism with architecture. Next slide. So to my aboriginals, you think that they got this turtle up here because they love America? You think that listen, this ain't in Tortuga, Haiti, people. This ain't in Tortuga. This ain't got nothing to do with North America. This is a spiritual house, and they sell spiritual incense, and they connect themselves back with their culture in this turtle building. They ain't teaching about America in this building. They ain't teaching about no little island near Haiti in this building. They teaching about the cosmos. They teaching about Turtle Island, what the Masons hid from you. So to my aboriginals, I'm blowing y'all out the water because you need it. But everybody gonna get it. And it ain't picking on you. You should love knowledge, man. Come on, I love it when somebody, if I was an Albo, I'd be like, thank you, bro, Sanchez. Shit, now I can correct this shit because I thought Turtle Island was just that simple. Now you can correct it now. This turtle is Nut. Nut is the house. She's what houses Geb. She's what houses the light of the world. She's the shell, all right? Remember that the aura is the shell, and that's why the turtle has a shell. Now, later I'm going to show you why the gas station shell got that symbol, because it's actually representing the human aura in the form of a Nagini, okay? So since if you look at the gas station shell, it's just the arch. It's a golden arch. It's a yellow turtle shell. That's turtle worship, people. The Sinclair gas station, if you look at the Sinclair gas station symbol, it ain't a green dinosaur, it's a green turtle. See, they hiding that the first deity was the turtle. Let me show you something. They hiding the fact that the first deity was the turtle. They got y'all thinking it's a dinosaur, but do this look like a dinosaur or a turtle? They just scratched the neck out on it, but made it green. This is the ancient turtle and elephant put together in one image. Basically, the logo for Sinclair is the turtle and elephant. They call it a dinosaur, but it's really this turtle concept that all the ancients revered, because this turtle showed the ancients how to power their villages. Remember that the turtle is free energy. I went over that in the previous one. I'm not going to be redundant. This turtle represents toroidal energy, and it's science behind this. They using that science to sell you. They hiding that to sell you gas. If everybody knew the true science of Turtle Island, we wouldn't be paying for gas. We'll be propelling our cars with magnets. Don't you know that you can do that? Don't you know you can make a magnetic attraction inside of the wheels with some kind of metal and have like a magnet in the bumper? And every time the doggone metal magnet that's attached to the tire try to attract to the magnet that's on the bumper, it'll make the tire spin. And you'll never have to buy gas. All you got to do is deactivate and activate the magnet, and it'll make the car go forward and stop. See how you can propel a city with magnets? Because you see how magnets can move things. If you take two magnets, if they repelling each other, then that one magnet will push the other one with an invisible energy field or push it out the way without touching it. You can push your car down the street the same way with magnets, people. In China, they building subway systems with magnets, people, and they don't got to buy gas. Why we still buying gas? Because we still dumb down. The people that's burning gas don't understand that you can even propel a car with compressed air. Have you ever blew up a balloon and let it go? Yes, you can push a car the same way with compressed air canisters. They want you to think small and buy gas and be a dummy and pump your gas at the tank and be a fool and say, man, this gas come from fossil fuel. My car running off dead dinosaurs like an idiot. Everything is toroidal energy. The ancestors personified that as a turtle. So the Sinclair symbol is a turtle. And they laughing at you because they know how to create infinite energy with magnetism. But since you don't know how to create it, they can make billions selling you gas while putting the truth right in your face. If you knew the truth of this turtle symbol, you wouldn't even pay this company. You wouldn't even buy gas. Then the name of it is Sin, because that's a moon goddess that's linked to this reptilian energy, this toroidal energy. But anyway, it's deep. The deciphering that I'm doing here is very deep, man. But I'm going to keep it moving because I don't want to be too redundant. But you aboriginals see that these people ain't make this turtle, man, because they revere in some place on earth. They understand that this turtle is the cosmic house. This is Nut over Geb, man. This is the structure of our cosmos. All right. Now, enough said about that. Let's move on. Again, Turtle Island is the Hebrew cosmos. These pictures are self-explanatory. You can see how this temple has nothing to do with Tortuga. It has nothing to do with North America. If you look at this turtle temple, it has everything to do with the cosmos. All right, with the seed of God being the head of the turtle coming out of its shell. Simple, people. Let's keep it moving. Also, notice that the throne of God is a step pyramid. You need to pay attention to that. The throne of God is a step pyramid, just like I showed you at the middle of the Mayan cosmos was a step pyramid. The throne of God is a step pyramid. Let's keep it moving. Here's your Turtle Island. Here's another conception of the Hebrew cosmos. And this one got a lot of scriptures with it that you can go and sync Flat Earth Cosmology. And so I'm gonna pause the screen a minute. I'm gonna take a minute break, and I put this up here so you biblical people, you can get your Bible out, start pulling up Psalm 104. I'm gonna leave the screen pause, and you can read that scripture there. Is right on the screen if you want to read along. And you can see that the ancient conception of earth, according to scripture in the Bible, is flat earth, Turtle Island. And there's many biblical scriptures represent flat earth, but this is just one of the many. I got to take a break, folks. Be right back. Look over this image. Keep the concept of Turtle Island in your mind, because we helping our Aboriginal brothers reconnect with the ancient truth, because it's deep and the rabbit hole goes deep, because the rabbit hole is the understanding and the level of awareness that you go through to reconnect back with the source on this plane. And that's what we doing now. We going deep in the rabbit hole, because the rabbit hole is the rabbi hole. The rabbi hole is the all-seeing eye at the middle of the earth. All right? All right? The rabbit hole is actually the rabbi hole. All right? Remember that now. All the rabbis know these secrets too, most of them. They hide the secrets of this black stone. This box right here at the Incan cosmos, it's the pupil of an all-seeing eyeball. If you cut open a piece of fruit, you will see this too in a piece of fruit. All things in nature do this too. The earth is a giant piece of fruit. The earth is a huge fruit. And the seed is the North Pole, where all compasses point. That's what, gave birth to everything else. So when you see them marching around the cobblestone, it's the same thing. This is the same as this. That box is the portal to the Most High. That's the beam me up, Scotty. There's a stream of magnetism going up to the source, and if you hop on it, it's gonna push you up. Just like if a strong wind blowing, it's gonna move you. So we ride up like a huge blowing wind, like a skydiver, like a fake simulate. They got the indoor skydiving, and they got this huge fan that holds you up in the sky, and it just blowing you up there, making you levitate, pushing you up. Imagine it's a huge fan at the North Pole, and when you get inside of it, it blows you all the way up to the Most High. It's a vibrational stream that once your soul get in the middle of it, it beams you all the way up to the source. All right? So that's what this portal is. But instead of it beaming you up to the source, often before we make it to the source, we end up getting off at a particular floor like an elevator and having an experience. So we don't just go from dying all the way up to the source. We sleep along the way. We take breaks. As your soul travel up the magic mountain, it's so far up to the seat of God that your soul gets tired and it falls asleep in the ethereal realm. And when your soul falls asleep as it's traveling back to the source in the ethereal realm, it wakes up in the body. And this is like a resting point while your soul sleep. When your soul wake up, you're going to die. People going to have your funeral, and you're going to keep moving up the mountain until your soul fall asleep again and get tired climbing that mountain. And it's going to stop at a particular plane. Just like a car got to gas up, your Merkaba is a car. And you stop on these different planes of existence to gas up, to take a rest. Everybody climbing this mountain. But shit, you got to rest sometime. You got to sit down. And when you sit down on a mountain, you got to find a plane. If you climbing up a steep mountain and you got to take you a break, you can't take a break anywhere. You got to find a leveled area on a mountain that you can sit on, a little flat area. And that's why it's a step pyramid. It steps up the mountain. It's not just a steep mountain, it's a step mountain. So, yes, it's a steep mountain, but it's climbable because it has steps. Imagine if your steps weren't rigid, if it was just smooth. It'll be harder to climb. But once you break it up and make it into steps and make it a rigid pattern, you can take steps, and I don't care how steep it is, you can climb it. Because the steepest stairway is called a ladder. All right, that's the steepest steps you can get is a vertical ladder. And a ladder make it possible for you to get off the ground and make it to the roof of your house. By taking steps, you can climb the skies in steps. That's what a ladder represents, DNA. We travel up the stairway like a ladder through DNA, which is the ladder that we climb to God, being born in and out of the body. The DNA is the cosmic ladder that we climb. And this stairway, this step pyramid is a ladder, a beanstalk. Okay? And it makes it, even though it's a steep climb, we can do it because of the steps that's provided. So we got to revere something as simple as the angle, which allow you to take step by step, because without them steps, you'll just slide down. Ain't no way you can make that steep climb if you didn't have them steps there. So the steps are the gracious design of the Most High to make it doable for you. Ain't no excuses now, because the Most High put steps right there. Ain't no excuse for you not to make it on top of that rooftop of that mountain now, because it's steps there now. It's step. What's your excuse now? You ain't got to do nothing but take one step at a time. The Most High made it where you ain't got no excuses. So now let's move on. But let me take my minute break. I hope y'all don't mind me taking a little 2-minute break. I'll be right back with you. All right, thank you people for allowing me that break. I hope you enjoyed the music. You know, already know I made that beat. That's one of my old beats. You can tell it's kind of old because kind of simple sounding. But let's get back into this knowledge though. All right, let's get back into it. Everybody, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button and also the share button. I'm not looking at the chat, but I will be switching to the chat. We're going to continue on. We can go to the next slide. We're going to rush through this because I'm just reiterating. We know what that is, Muslim moss. We already went over how that relate to it. Next slide. See what we looking at is a giant titty. I want you to start looking at this stuff different. See, before this became looked at as the top of a penis, because there's two ways you can see the polarity. That's why it's called a paradigm. It's truly a paradox. You can see it either way. You can have a matriarchal or patriarchal society based upon a collective way the people agree and see it. What creates dark ages is when we all start to see the world in a patriarchal viewpoint. Then we forget how to work in unison with the Great Mother, and we build patriarchal societies that's based upon hunt animals, digging out of the earth, ripping the Mother Nature. And that's another way you can create energy, but it's a destructive way to create energy, a counterproductive way that robs the collective system. So the patriarchal systems, they start to see the North Pole as a penis head, and remember that the penis is the great penetrator. The penis represent the destructive energy. It breaks down the great walls when it's going inside of that thing. And even when it skeets up out the sperm, the sperm is breaking into the egg. The man is the penetrator. The penis penetrates. The woman is the Venus. She absorbs. So the man is the penis. The woman is the Venus. She's the vortex. The earth is a vortex, so it's supposed to be personified as a mother to connect us with the code of how we're supposed to behave and coexist with the natural system of this place. The flowers, the waterfalls, everything around you is matriarchal. Smell a rose, you'll know that the creator of this place is that of a grandmother. Like if you ever felt the energy of your mother dear, your great grandmother, and you ever been to like Hawaii and just feel the embrace of nature, nature embraces you like a calm voice of your grandma, you know? That's why it's the great mother. That's the grandmother who created all the other mothers. That's the queen bee. She passes baton to the next queen after her. This is matriarchal science, so that beehive is the dome with the queen bee in the middle, keeping the procession going. Right? Keeping giving the birth going. So it itself is a giant breast representing life, people. This is why these things so attractive. Why do you think the baby is attracted to the woman's breast? Okay. Why do you think the baby is attracted to the woman's breast? This is so, oh man, I hate this art. Won't they pull a titty out and put it in the baby mouth like real ancient art, man? Come on. They so, I hate this because they cover up the breast because the men are so homo. So you can't find real Madonna and Childs with the titty out with the baby sucking it because they want to make that over sexual, but they show you naked men. The Greeks show you all them naked men. But they won't show you a breast to save your life. They'll show you all them phalluses. But look how long it's taken me to find a real Madonna with a breast out. They want to censor everything about the woman. So you ain't gonna find it. I'm glad I got pictures on my drive. So we know what we looking at with the Madonna and Child. The baby is normally sucking on the breast. Showing you how we pull energy from the North Pole. If you look at the shape of the breast, you will see The earth is a giant battery, and the nipple is the tip part. All right, that's all. I think we can move on from here. And what I want to point out is that how does a baby know to go to the breast? No one teaches the baby, hey, baby, you need to suck the breast. The baby automatically reaches for the breast and know that that's where to go for milk. Why? Because our subconscious is programmed to understand this cosmic code of the ripple effect. The ripple effect is really the nipple effect because the ripple is the nipple. And we went over that yesterday when I put out the battery picture. So watch the previous episode. The nipple is the ripple, and the breast is a big ripple effect. Just like the dome of the church. All these ripples. So when they build this giant breast, it attracts us there because our soul understand that this is that motherly energy that feeds us. So we go here to be fed spiritually. And this nipple is supposed to be connected with the knowledge of the cosmos, feeding all of the baby here, pulling the energy from this nipple. But this is not no longer connected to the true source. They now got the energy directing you to their different gods like Allah and Jesus. In the ancient day when this really was revering the great mother, we was plugged. This was a huge antenna that connected to the North Pole antenna. So again, the North Pole is a huge Tesla coil, and the ancients built step pyramids and domes all over the world to connect their antennas with that antenna to expand the frequency. So just say I got a favorite radio station that I like to listen to in Las Vegas, but I moved to like Poland. Well, I got to get a special kind of antenna that can pick up that frequency from over there. See how this works? And they will have to build an antenna that will pick up the frequency from Poland, and I can turn to that channel there. Basically, what the ancestors was doing, the first antenna or tree of life or cell tower was built at the North Pole. It's a cell tower because the earth shaped like a giant cell, and it's a tower. At the North Pole, it's a cell tower, and it's given a signal of cosmic records, Akashic records, and information, divine download. But we're not getting the signal because we turned to another channel, all right, to redirect us from the source. That's called Pan. The Pan knob. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. The pan knob deals with the balance of the signal. All right. You panning the frequency. This is Ma'at. This is the triangle of life right here. The lance ball is the yin yang. We call it balance, but it's the ball lance with the serpent, a ball lance. So what I'm showing you is here. This is the proper frequency. When you tune into that zero channel, that's the true frequency of the Most High. That's pointed to Ma'at. Ma'at represents zero. That's why the feather is right here, because it's so light it don't weigh nothing. Left and right is both of the scales. So when they pan you, they get your ass off balance. This is what pan represent. Chaos. This is what the god Pan represent, chaos. The music of chaos. He's there to pan you off balance. Now, if you're not panned, then guess what? You're centered. Simple. Either you're panned or you're centered. If you're centered, you're healthy. If you're panned, your body in chaos, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So it ain't about left and right, polarity, debate, this verse, that. No, that's pandemonium. That's panic, brother panic. We know y'all cats probably worship the Baphomet. Shout out to brother panic. I don't want to do him wrong. He was throwing a little salt at me though, so I'm going to give him a little wedgie. Yeah, brother panic, change your name because you represent pan energy. We don't need to panic. We need to be relaxed. You can't think when you panic, and that's pandemonium. All right? People start panting. Okay? Listen, let me tell you something. If you look at this God, you'll see why we wear pants today. We didn't wear no pants. If you look at all the ancient cultures, they don't wear pants. They wear less clothes because they ain't sexual like us. They ain't mentally corrupted. Pan was a god that represent rape and pedophile, bestiality. He was a rapist. And that's what our elites are. They're sick people, pedophiles, rapists. And the reason they even invented pants, because so many women was getting raped, they had to make pants for women. I don't know if y'all know that. Pants came out with the rise of Pan. You can look at this god and see the root word of pants is Pan, and he got on pants. People think I'm lying. They think I'm making shit up. But real talk, man, why y'all think we wear pants and all the cultures that's the Senegalese tribe don't wear pants. The African Bushmen don't wear pants. Pants ain't even good for your genital area. A lot of men sterile today because we've been wearing briefs and pants since we was young. This is a westernized culture. It's a panic pandemonium culture. And they put pants on their wives to send them out because they was in a rape culture. Your wife might get raped, man, so they put pants on her, and the belt buckle was a goddamn lock, man. That jump, the damn husband had the key to her heart. See, y'all don't hear me, man. This is deep stuff. Pan raped the women. Let me show you some. Pan raped the women. So they started putting pants on the women to protect your wives when she went out. And today we wear belts with a belt buckle, but that ain't the original meaning of pants, man. All right. The belt buckle was an actual lock with a key with it, and the husband had the key so that he can lock his woman vagina up, because they damn culture was so chaotic that they was just raping each other wives. It was pandemonium. It was a pandemic, panic. So the woman had to wear pants to protect herself from this deity represent the mindset of the men at the time that was creating the world, passing the laws. Look at them today. They ain't changed. They making pedophilia legal, gay marriage legal, bestiality legal. Come on, man. Can't tell me I'm lying. We didn't wear no pants. That come from this God right here who made the world start panicking. That's when you had to cover yourself up because you left the Garden of Eden. We was vegans. We was relaxed. We was calm. Now you eat meat and you drink blood and you bloody steaks and you wear pants and it's rape and pedophilia. You still in a panic Baphomet nation. Pandemonium. Come up out of the God Pan. Stop being Pan from left to right. When they pan you from left to right, Democrat versus Republican, Hebrews versus Kemet, this versus that, that's panning the children of the earth against each other, creating order out of chaos by keep on moving this pan knob left and right. That's the God Pan. Panic, chaos, polarity. When you get balance, you get zeroed, you get grounded, ground zero. In order to ground, you got to go back to zero and leave the polarity alone, because that's pandemonium. That's panic energy. Don't you take no sides, because now you tilting the scales of ma'at and you're going to bring imbalance to your health. So don't you use the pan knob. You stay in tune with the frequency of the Most High. Zero. That's neutral. That connects you. You point your eyes up to heaven. In order for you to connect with the source, you got to look up to heaven. You can't be looking at the source if you looking left and right, and you can't even know what's in front of you if you're looking left and right. That's why some of y'all tripping. Tripping hard, man. Believing with these dumb beliefs. Y'all tripping, can't get right. Because you pant the left or right. You can't see what's in front of you. You keep stumbling. Quit, you pan. It's pandemonium in your head, in your religion, in your belief system. You're being panned. So you aboriginals, if you look at the feather on the Indian head, it's telling you don't be Pan. The Indian wear the feather in the middle to represent zero, grounding point, neutral, balance. Once you go left and right, now use pandemonium. So let me get on with that, man, because I think I can move on now from there. Again, the earth is a big nipple. It's the Muslim mosque is the same thing of the Hebrew conception of earth, and the steeple at the top is the beam me up, Scotty. That steeple at the top of the church actually supposed to connect with the North Pole till they stopped. They broke the signal. They got a movie called A Signal. People, go watch that movie. They telling you how they disconnected the signal. Okay? So we ain't connected. We got all these religions that create the wars, and these wars are the number one cash cow that keep the royal families rich, because war makes the most money, and it get rid of a lot of poor people, make a millions of die. You know. So these religion symbols ain't supposed to create world war. They supposed to unite all of the children of earth, because all of these symbols just represent the great mother. Like I'm showing you is a big nipple, the all-seeing eye, the great mother. When we learn the truth that all of these symbols connect us with Mother Earth, we'll stop going to war, disagreeing with these foolish sky gods that divided and conquered us with this chaos pandemonium theory. Now let's move on, because the mosque and the church is supposed to be a miniature example of the cosmos. This is as above, so below. People talking about that pseudoscience when that's the cosmic code of nature, just like I'm showing you here. How is it pseudoscience when I'm showing it to you? All the pyramids built off the cosmic sciences. You folks crazy who call as above, so below pseudoscience. It go to all-seeing eye. This is the Saturn concept. We already went over that. Yahweh's terrarium is what you walking into when you walking into the mosque. Because what? Yahweh is Yeshua in many names. Because Yeshua is Joshua. Did you know that? It was many reincarnations of Jesus, and Joshua was one of them. Joshua is Yahshua. The J is the Y. So Joshua is Yahshua or Yeshua. Okay. So, I mean, we could break down Jesus to all of these ancient gods and trace Jesus all the way back to Pan. This is Jesus, one of the new world gods of pandemonium and chaos. Keep it going. By the way, this Yahweh's terrarium is Turtle Island. There's another conception of Turtle Island. So you can see that this is cosmology. It's bigger than geography. Also, Yahweh's terrarium is a Christian plagiarization and corruption of the ancient flat earth science. So be careful with these little boxes, because it'll put your mind in a box. This is more to earth than this little box, but you know, that's just one conception. Let's move on. Turtle Island, aboriginals. Keep it moving. Self-explanatory. You can see the mountain in the middle of the earth. Don't forget that this is Mount Meru, or Mount Calvary to the Christians. All right. Here go Jesus in the middle of the mountain. And the two thieves that's on each side of Jesus is the sun and moon. It's all cosmology. And this is also Saturn and the Pac-Man moon matrix, because you can see that the sky shapes like a Pac-Man creature, because the ground actually splits the sky with the magic mountain. So this is a mold. If you think of how you make cookies in a cookie mold, if you were to separate these two pieces, the sky from the ground, you would see that the sky is just a negative space of the ground. You have a copy of yourself that's being imprinted upon the ether, meaning by you existing within this space, there's a mold around you. There's space and counter space. That mole around you is called an aura field. And the earth is the same. So the sky is the same as the ground. Just like if you put cookie dough in a star-shaped cookie mold, the dough gonna take the shape of the star. And the mold gonna be the same shape as the cookie that's shaped like a star, but only you can't eat the mold. The mold is what shaped the cookie. Like the mold is negative space. You can't eat it because it's not really a cookie. It's nothing. It's just the negative space of the shape. It's the reflection of a cookie. Once you fill the mold with substance, hence meaning once you take your invisible magnetic energy and clothe it in the elements, we now get to see you take shape. Each human is an expression of their soul. Your body is sacred geometry. So, everything is pressed into existence. And that's the root word of pressure. All right. That's what's keeping everything molded together. And the sky is molded to the ground. And the crazy thing about it is, like I said, if you were to take this sky and detach it from the ground and fill it up with water and then freeze that water, you will see that when you take the ice away from the mold, it'll just be an image of the earth. And since you walking around the earth, you will be copied into that mold too. All the birds will be copied into it. All the buildings, all the children in the playground. Once you freeze this atmosphere, if you take the atmosphere that's above the earth and turn it into like a statue jelly that you can touch, it'll be the same thing as this reality we live in. We are the negative space of the spirit realm, but the spirit realm is the mold. The physical realm is like the cookie that's born out of the mold. So we're just emanating from the spiritual realm. That's all we're doing. Just like the cookie gets its shape from the mold. So again, if you were to take the sky off the ground, you can make 1 million copies of this reality just by refilling that bowl up, freezing it, and doing it like you do cookies in the cookie mold. Because the sky is the same thing the ground is, the counter space and space and counter space. So, and it looks like Pac-Man. All right. It looks like as you climb up this mountain toward the source, it looked like Pac-Man is eating you up. Now let's move on because I think I'm doing a good job of tying it together. This is your Turtle Island. All right. We walk in the back of the turtle, Aboriginals. I'm giving you the deep cosmic science, the oracle tradition, indigenous cosmology. Before people start getting attached to land masses, people was attached to the one that created all the land. Now let's get it. Keep it moving. Self-explanatory. This self-explanatory, man. Turtle Island. This is just a beautiful image. I throw it in there just to let you see how your reality ties into this. We call it an atmosphere because it's spherical. All right. But the ground ain't a sphere. It's a dielectric inertial plane. Now let's keep it moving. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show y'all how deep symbolism is. They make you step on the truth in video games. Let me show you something. Y'all think I'm reaching, but everything is imagery. Excuse me. Everything is symbolism. Mario going down the pipe is going to the North Pole, warping the different worlds. They make these Goombas the bad guys, but the Goombas are the Gimbutas. Let me show you something real quick. The Goombas are the Gimbutas. Hold on. Because this lady, they always want to associate their goddamn names to the truth. Fuck this lady, man. Get your ass out the way. Nobody want to see your ass. This is what we looking for, people. These are ancient deities called Gimbutas, and they are mother goddesses. These are just mother goddesses. In this dress style, they wear this kind of dresses today. Women wear these dresses today. We'll be getting into this Gimbutas in the future. But this is the great mother. She was a Gimbuta. Here go more Gimbutas. The Gimbutas are the Dogon Kanangas, or the great mothers. Here's another Gimbuta. But these Gimbutas was turned to Goombas in Mario game. All I'm doing is showing you how they corrupted the science, man. A lot of them creatures in the game, they get them from, the sacred, they mocking ancient concepts. This is like a Kananga or a Gimbuta form. But anyway, what I want to point out is they make you step on it. You see they got the arc shape. It's a lot of symbolism go on, but I don't want to take up too much time with that. That's what this is right here. It's a Goomba. They do this in a lot of things. The little wizards with the hood on, with the eyes inside of the hoodie. It's right here. Look hard and you'll see Toadstool. See, what they doing is corrupting ancient science. Let me show y'all something, because I'm not reaching. I'm telling you the truth, man. Now, I don't want to get too deep into this, because I'm going to get into this at some point, and I don't want to do it now. But they stole this. They turned it into Mario Toadstool. If you ever played Mario, the Toadstool is not an original concept. The dome on top of the human head represent your torus field around your body. And we're going to get into that in the future. The dome around the head is because you have your body is enclosed in a dome. You're inside of a torus field. And the ancients knew that, and they put these domes on their heads. All right? And that became these creatures. They making fun of us, y'all. They making fun of our ancient science. This is the true toadstools. These are called ancient toadstool figurines. And they predate Mario game. So where do they get their Mario Toadstool from? Right here. This is also a Gimbuta. But it's all representing the human aura. And since the earth is the same thing as the human, we see how they corrupted all of this stuff and turned it into Mario creatures that you step on and get points. And it's all moving up the stairway. I guess that's what they telling you. You stepping on, you working your way up the stairway to heaven, like I've been telling you. So you stepping on these little creatures for points. You really stepping on your ancestors. That's another way of saying you walking in their footsteps, because where you going up the magic mountain, they already been. They done died and went on. So I guess that's why you step on these little creatures. I can only guess. All I know is it's esoteric science to everything. But let's move on. But when you see this, like, you got a lot of hooded creatures. The hoodie over the head. The witches wore the hoodie. The Xavier, the warlocks, the witches with the hoodies. It's the earth cosmology. Those people had the secrets of the earth, and they wore the hood over their head like the women get married with the veil. Because marrying is what you're looking at now. Sun marries moon, and this nut that veils you from the next realm, because above you is a mystery, but right now it's history, right? The first grader don't know what's being taught in college till he get there. So the sky is actually a veil that shields you in ignorance to the level of understanding of this level, because you ain't ready to be advanced yet till you understand this first. Kindergartner can't go to 12th grade to understand kindergarten first. It's a step process. You got to move through the grades, and that's a gradual process, a step process of moving up this mountain, So this is what the witches knew, and they wore the hoods, and it's a marriage, because sperm is represented by the sun, and the egg is the moon. It's a magnetic attraction. When you leave a body, half of you go to the sun, half of you go to the moon. Half of you become a sperm cell, half of you become an egg. And when they meet up again, you become a new world again in a new world, because the body is a miniature cosmos. So this is a fractal code. And we're the same thing the earth is. And we travel through these cosmos by splitting the consciousness, becoming sperms and eggs, left brain, right brain, higher self, low self, angel, devil, you go to heaven and hell. Then you meet back up in the middle through shoe, hooked to the umbilical cord in a hospital in your body. And you look the same way the earth looked. The earth is a big human. We all made the same. The sun and moon is the left and right brain connected to the left and right eye. All right. And the tree of life is the trunk of the elephant, the nose where they both meet. That's a pole. And that's breathing the breath of life into this place. So this is the nostrils also as the eyes. It's a nose and eyes because the sun and moon is stirring up the ether or the wind, the breath of life that's coming from the pole or the trunk of Ganesh that's sounding off the horn, which is the music of life. Now let's keep going. Again, Turtle Island. You know, for people that want to show geographic structures and islands that shape like humps, well, I can do the same thing. Don't be stupid, Aboriginals. Listen to what I'm telling you. You on a shallow surface level with this Turtle Island shit. Don't be stupid, Aboriginals, by saying, look at this island. It's shaped just like a turtleback. Well, look at this damn this is called a, hold on, I wrote it down because my mind be just going. This is a Krakusa mound, and it's an old structure, people. It goes back to the Stone Age, and you can still walk up in it. It's self-ventilated because it has the grass growing on it. It's an organic dwelling. You don't need no damn thermometer. You don't need no heating and air conditioning, because during the summer it gets cold on the inside of this thing, so it got a natural cooling system, and during the winter it traps all the heat on the inside. So the ancients didn't just build like structures like this because they was primitive and they just didn't know how to build nothing else. This is science, man. This thing is self-cooling and self-heating. It changes like the seasons. Buddy, what you talking about? Give the ancients they credit. And when you going around talking about this island shaped like a turtleback, well, this mound shaped like a turtleback. So guess what? According to the Aboriginals, y'all, here go Turtle Island. It's a whole lot of turtle islands on Earth if we just gonna look at shit that's shaped like a turtle and say, look, that's Turtle Island. Well, your goddamn dome-headed ass is your goddamn big head is Turtle Island. Shallow thinking Negroes. If we just gonna point the goddamn domes around geographic shapes and physical reality and ignore the cosmology behind the turtle and elephant myth, then anything shaped like a dome is Turtle Island. Your mama titty is Turtle Island. Michael Jordan head is Turtle Island. Charles Barkley head is Turtle Island. You know. So, you know, we got to start waking up. The Turtle Island concept can be seen all over the world in all of these structures because as above, so below. Our ancients learned how to build by studying how the earth was built. They looked around at an ant bed and they said, well, damn, if them ants can make a damn mountain to live in, we can make a teepee or igloo, a mountain to live in. They looked at, you know what I'm saying? It's that damn simple. They looked at a termite mound. They said, look at them termites piling up that dirt into a mound, a mountain. If the animals know how to build a pyramid, why do we ask dumb questions like, ooh, the ancestors built pyramid? That ain't nothing special. Ants build pyramids every day. Man, we got to wake the fuck up. What you think an ant bed is? This is one cosmic code. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's so mind-blowing to you because we dumbed down today. But animals building fucking pyramids. Are they gods? Did the aliens build the ant beds? God damn. So all these pyramid structures and mound-like structures and even islands, because that's the path of least resistance. Have you ever dropped sugar in the kitchen? Here's an experiment. Go in your kitchen and just pour some flour on the floor. It's gonna naturally make this shape right here because this is how nature organizes everything. She compiles it. And in case you didn't know, a pile is a mountain. That's why the root word of pile is pie. And a pie slice is a mountain. It's a triangle. It's a vagina. It's a belly, a titty, a nipple. Calvary. Everything in nature know the secret of life, but us humans, we think it's some special about a pyramid. All right, so ants make pyramids to live in, and the ancestors made pyramids to live in. We see these structures all over the world. It's shaped like a turtle back. When the peoples came to Turtle Island, you got to imagine something, people. When these invaders came into ancient cities, you got to imagine how the skyline looked with thousands and thousands of these green mounds all over the landscape. It looked like Turtle Island. It looked like a bunch of huge turtles, but this was just houses. Our ancestors lived inside of turtles. And all of the mythology became that North America is a turtle because they live inside of North America. I'm trying to wake you doggone Turtle Islanders up to the truth. Listen to what I'm telling you. Our ancestors did live inside of North America. But North America ain't Turtle Island. The structures that they built on this land looked like turtles. These were the teepees. They grew grass. They were dirt-made mounds that were organic. They grew grass out of them. This is an old concept you see. They still building like this in the jungle, and the grass grow out of their huts. It's a natural insulation process. And they actually plant gardens on top of their house. See how deep this is? See how we left the Garden of Eden? When they came into these ancient cities, it was just hundreds of green houses like this. And the atmosphere was so heavenly, the air was so clean, because you didn't have houses with electricity and sewer systems and recycling shit and piss water. Everything was recycled through the groundwater. The water rolled off the house. We drunk the purest water on earth. We didn't have dumb sewage systems. We built our system in unison with the natural system. Listen, people, if the earth is a huge cosmos and it already got a chimney and a sewer system, why would you build your house with a chimney and a sewer system hooked to some plant treating the water, turning your shit water into drinking water? That's nasty. The ancestors didn't have no sewer in the bottom of this thing because it drained naturally through the ground. And you got new resources from above. This house was part of the natural cleaning system, connected to the earth sewer system. And the chimney was connected to the sky. If you go outside and blow some smoke out, it's going to automatically go up because the earth is a huge house and it's got a chimney up there for the smoke and stuff to go out, just like your house. So the ancestors put a hole in the top of their hut because it's the same way we make chimneys today. But they didn't have a sewer system that ran to some plant turning their shit water to drinking water. They pooped outside, and they stayed grounded in their house. They didn't have carpet. When you walked on the inside of that, it was dirt. They was always grounded. And to be living inside of something like this will make you so healthy, people. If you can visit this little mound and just live in it for 1 month, When you come back to America, you will see that you've been healed just by living in this thing because it's organic. It's naturally in tune with the earth. It's directly connected to the horizon. It's one with the earth. Like our houses are built on city ley lines in these different areas that disconnect us from the earth. It's built in areas that ain't suitable for grounding. The foundations is with all this electricity and towers everywhere is breaking our connection and grounding with the earth. But when they came in these ancient cities, man, it was villages where the air was so clean, the water was so pure, people had gardens everywhere. Their house was a damn garden. It literally looked like their houses was growing from the ground. So this was the Garden of Eden, because it looked like even the houses was growing out of the earth. And when the invaders came here, you know, it must have looked like a turtle island with all these different green houses looking like a bunch of turtles. So this turtle island concept and the ancients living inside of Turtle Island is deeper than them living in North America. They literally lived inside of a turtle because the architecture resembled the turtle to the invaders. So they lived in Turtle Island. They lived in turtles. In North America, when they came here, they saw these turtles all over the place. And it was Turtle Island because every one house looked like a turtle. So it's deeper than North America shaped like a turtle, man. Because that picture that you showing me, whoever put that on my Facebook wall of North America being a turtle, you can say that's an iguana. That can be a lizard. That can be any kind of crawling animal that's making a forward crawl. Not just a turtle. That can be anything, an armadillo. But what I'm saying make more sense than that picture you showing of North America shaped like a turtle. That's surface, shallow, and it's a distraction. And you know, it's panning us to one geographic landmass instead of the truth. Because this ancient concept, how they built their architecture, resembles the mountain at the middle of the Mayan cosmos. So they built their houses like the mountain at the middle of the earth. Excuse me. If there's a step pyramid at the pyramid at the center of the earth, as above, so below, we built pyramids to live in, like ants do. It's one cosmic code, people. So the picture is on the mound or the mountain, and the game can't begin if the picture don't throw the rock. And if the Most High don't throw that rock, there's no ripple effect, that vibrational ripple effect that we call life in the primordial seas of Nu. And that's coming from the magic mountain. That's the tower from the top. The picture is the one pitching out the signal of reality. The picture pitching out the song of life from the top of the mountain. That's Jesus on Calvary. So the ancients built mound-like structures because this is the simple code of nature. Like I said, go in your kitchen and just pour some sugar on the floor. It's going to naturally make this shape because this is a natural path of least resistance. So ants build their ant beds this way, and we built our houses this way. And this is Turtle Island, but there's a divine science to Turtle Island, and I'm giving it to you now before it was corrupted and became shallow to just be panned with pandemonium energy toward one particular landmass or geographic. That's pandemonium because that starts chaos. People going to be like, well, this shaped like a turtle, this Turtle Island. No, well, this Turtle Island. And more argument and polarity when really the true Turtle Island is the center of the earth that connect all the land masses and unify all of us and end the debate. You can't argue with what I'm saying. So let's continue with this deep science, man. This is just a little collage. In the top right corner, we got the Incan cosmos. In the bottom right corner, the Egyptian cosmos. And excuse me. Traffic, excuse me. And on the left, we got the Masonic cosmos. And of course, you can see the zodiac right here because this is Nut right here. This is Nut. Here goes Shu holding up his arms as the two pillars. In Egyptian cosmos, the two pillars are the arms of Shu. In the Masonic cosmos, instead of shoe holding up Nut, you got the two pillars holding up the dome. So these two pillars are shoe holding up Nut, which is the sky clock. And you can see the zodiac embedded in Nut's back. That's the stars. In Egyptian cosmology, here's the zodiac embedded in Nut's back. In Incan cosmology, here's the zodiac embedded in Nut's back. There's a spiritual meaning to the tramp stamp. All the women getting the tramp stamp on their lower back, that's your Kundalini energy. When you put a tattoo in your lower back, that symbol is resonating with the frequency of your Kundalini. Be careful with the tramp stamps. It's at the base of the spine, women. Be careful with the tramp stamps, because you getting all of these symbols and Ford symbols and Chevy signs and bands and money symbols at the base of your Kundalini. You programming your spirit with corrupted symbols right there at the base of your spine. The tattoo is piercing that symbol through the skin. This is symbolic. This is vibration. It's the pricking of the skin. Be careful with the tramp stamp, because the tattoos on a woman's back is really the luminaries tatted on Nut's back. This dome or the bending Nut bending her back with the luminaries embedded into her back. You know, you can look at that like the women with the tattoos on the back today, because all of this spiritual science became corrupted to a lower form, you know. So, you know, like I said, that tramp stamp would be right here, Polaris, the base of the Kundalini. And I think that's symbolic. But anyway, I just wanted to show you how the Masons is hot in flat earth cosmology. The ground is the grid. The word ground is the word grid. It's the checkerboard, longitude and latitude. When you meet people, you meet at crossroads. You say, meet me at Las Vegas Boulevard and Tropicana. You give 2 cross streets and we meet there, because we walking around a grid. And what make the numbers up, the ground can be calculated. This is a computer system. And all the ground is a huge number system, a grid system of magnetic energy points. And it's like connect the dots. The magnetic energy points in the heavens, when you connect them to the earth, you find yourself at temples, ancient temples, connected to those star points in the sky. So it is heaven on earth what the ancients was doing. But the grid is the ground, and basically all the numbers point back to 0 degrees. So as you travel the earth, you say each particular location on earth can be pinpointed to a degrees, longitude and latitude. It couldn't work on a globe, but it can work on a flat plane, because when you on a grid, you're dealing with square miles. How the hell can you have square mileage and deal with the square unit on a circular globe? I'll wait. I will wait. I will wait. Let me see one of you idiots try to divide up a circle with squares. I'll wait. I'll wait. Let me see you evenly divide a circle with squares. If you do that, I'll give you $1 million. You can't do it, so that debunks the globe. You can't have a grid on a globe. You can't have a Google pinpoint mathematic locations on the ground or the grid on a globe, because all of the degrees point to 0 degrees. All of the cardinal directions are born from north, which is 0. And as you move away from north, you travel in either direction. But when you at the North Pole, you ain't in no direction. You at 0 degrees. You ain't north, south, east, or west. You in the presence of source. North is just a concept. It's really center. Once you get to the center, you go up, because that's the elevator up out of this place. All right. So north is really center. Now, Again, the ground is the grid, and I ain't gonna keep beating that horse. We got to go ahead and move to the next slide. We know the Masons hide free energy in flat earth cosmology. Now let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Now, what you looking at is Horus, the male bird, gay bird, also aka the Bennu bird. The Bennu bird was born from Nu. In other words, this is a form of Nut and Geb with Nut bent over Geb, but this is the gay version. Because we know that Nut is giving birth to Geb, Nut is resurrecting Geb. But when they replaced the great mother and they went patriarchal, they turned her into a bird. Remember, this is the sacred bird above the Mayan cosmos. This what resurrects us. That was always the phoenix. That's the phoenix goddess. That was the great mother till they turned it into a man. But like I said, when they turned that tipple to when they turned that nipple to a phallus, we went into a homosexual spirituality. So I'm giving you aboriginals a lesson and you Kemetic folks a lesson in one thing. All right. When they replaced the great mother Nut with a male bird, this dude got this bird pregnant, and that became the first form of homosexuality in Egyptian spirituality. And followed that, the people started turning gay. So in order for them to make it comfortable to you and ease it into your psyche, they got to start with the spiritual first. The spirit is the gateway. It's the gateway. Once they make it okay with the soul, it ain't nothing for the body to follow. Hell, the soul more powerful than the body. Once they make this gay shit all right in spirituality, then it's okay in the world. Now, gay marriage is legal. Of course, if it's okay in the church, it's okay in the law. They had to okay it with the spiritual people first, so the main people endorsed these gay rights were your religious people, because they on the same team. They pushing for this Father, Son, Holy Ghost. They don't want to include the woman in the life creation trinity. They took away the womb. So their gods got to give birth out of the rib cage like Adam gave birth to his wife out the rib cage. They got to put vaginas on men. This bird got a vagina. And it's flapping over this man's phallus, and this is two dudes having sex. But it used to be Nut over a man. Let me show y'all something. This is gay stuff. This is beautiful right here. Now this is what I'm talking about. Check this out. This is beautiful. You got Gale bent down with his phallus sticking up, going up into the vagina of his woman. This showing you the connection of man and woman, mother and child, husband and wife. So yes, it's incest, but it shows you how everybody is related. Even your wife is your sister, your spiritual sister. We are all brothers and sisters, even your wife. So when you see Nut and Geb, yes, Nut is giving birth to Geb, but Geb is also re-impregnating Nut. And it's a continuous recycling of life. This the recycle symbol. So yes, you may say it's incest, but that's what this big old reality is about. If it was just one single source, and that source is separated into every human, then the source is having sex with itself. It's incest. Your husband and wife come from the same source. So when they lay down in the bed, the source is making love with itself. So, you know, there's a deeper meaning when you hear people like Nature Boy and them say, I love myself. You know, and I'm not trying to bring him up, but there's a deeper meaning to everything. A lot of people don't know why they say what they say. But anyway, this is the original uncorrupted version. But when they took this womb, they took this beautiful woman out the way, and they replaced that woman. Hold on, wait for it. They took this beautiful woman out the way and replaced her with a doggone male bird. And right then in our spirituality, what was introduced was homosexuality, and not just homosexuality, bestiality. Because now you got a man impregnating a bird, and later the man started to impregnate all kind of animals. That's what Pan was doing. Let me show you. Here it is right here. See, it started to get corrupted. And it started right here in these kind of stories. There's no reason for this man to be having sex with that bird. It should be a woman right there. I would not want my children to learn this damn gay shit. And these Kemetic priests with their gay ass, they pass it off like it's so beautiful. See, family, this is Horus, resurrecting Osiris. Yeah, that is gay porn, nigga. That was gay porn before they had the TV, nigga. That's gay bestiality, nigga. And they reselling it to you in Kemeticism. That's why I said get back to the great mother, because these homos in power and they control everything. This is sick right here. This is bestiality and homosexuality. And once you start making art like this, it opened up the gateway to sick shit like this. You can't get mad for this man having sex with a goat in Greek if your goddamn God having sex with a bird in Egypt is all sick. It shouldn't be none other than a man having sex with a doggone woman. So any Kemetic person trying to debate me, you look like a fool trying to explain this sick crap. Whoever thought of this was sick. Because you had to sit there and think, okay, I'm going to create life. But instead of me having a woman, I'm going to make love to a damn male bird. And you don't think that's a sick story? Who naturally thinks of this kind of stupidity? What can be more beautiful than a man and a woman? Oh, let me guess, a man and a male bird? Because what you looking at is the Holy Ghost making love with the Father and the Son. That's agape love, pedophilia. Men with children, men with teenage boys, men with young boys. So this little bird is Eros, the Cupid. It became Horus. Don't you know that the word Horus is Horus or Eros? Eros is Horus. I'm trying to school y'all now. Let me show you Kemetic priests something that they hide from you. Nobody dropping signs like me. They corrupted all this stuff, turned it into gay stuff. Here is Eros, but Eros is Horus. It's all these gay pedophile sons. These are little they make love to these little babies. Look at here, man making love to a baby. This is Eros. If you take the H off Horus, it's Eros or Horus. It's Eros, it's Horus. Heros, Horus. Heru is Eros. This is the Holy Ghost dove in the Bible that made love to the Father and the Son. What you think that bird there for? Here it is right here. They showing you to make love with the gods. It was the young boys. It was the little cupids. It was the little bitty. They do this, man. Why you think them Jews be sucking on them little bitty babies' cock? Don't get me going here. I'm trying to free your mind. It was corrupted in their spirituality first. But even the Egyptians was gay as hell too. Why you think the Pharaoh wore more makeup and eyeliner than his goddamn wife? Gay ass Kemetic priests controlling the black people in their minds, keeping them caught up in this sun worshiping Masonic gay ass shit with bestiality and niggas fucking goats and birds and male and all of that sick shit they do in occult. Let's keep it moving. This is what it's supposed to be. Man, woman, and child. Not no father, son, and a bird. How can you make life with that? So the father sleeping with the son and they both just fucking the bird. And that's how life created. That's a patriarchal trinity. You know what it's called? A triple phallus. Let me show you the origins of this gay stuff. Let me show y'all something. Father, Son, Holy Ghost, it's an ancient concept called a triple dix. Yep, I'm going to be graphic today. It's time to expose it. This the triple phalluses. They were worshiping the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost as triple phalluses. And y'all ain't going to tell me this ain't gay now. Come on now. 3 dicks don't stick, people. Come on now. You got a triple goddamn, look at this. This the obelisk that was in Egypt. The Greeks was part of that shit too. So don't let them Kemetic priests fool you, because the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost is the triple phalluses. This was all over the world, triple phalluses, man. You can find this phallus worship everywhere, but I don't want to gross y'all out. Let me keep it moving. Let's get back on point. Next slide. No need to talk about that next slide. See, the cosmos is a celestial boat. The earth shaped like a boat. And if you look at this, it's shaped like a mushroom. And people, this is a military hat. If you was ever in the military, you know what I'm talking about. This is a military hat. In fact, the military hat is the birthday hat. And you're born through these little eggs. These are planes of existence. This is your magic carpet. And when I say magic carpet, I want you to lock this in your mind. We're going to go somewhere with this. I put this image up here so it can get the sacred geometry locked in your third eye. So stare at it. Look at the outline. Because when it flip the next slides, we're going to tie it into the next one. So stare at it now. Next slide. Boom. You're in your own aura field. So let's take a look at this. When you see these ancient mushroom figurines with the dome around their head, it's because your body is your temple, meaning that your body is inside of a, let me take this crazy crap off of here real quick. Excuse me. Your body is inside of a aura. You're in the egg. This is the auric egg. So your body is it's cloaked in an aura. So when you see these figurines with the dome on the head, it look kind of weird, but when you understand what they telling you, it makes perfect sense. They're telling you that there's a dome on your head. They was looking at the crown chakra. They was compartmentalizing the human auric field. And when you look at these ancient figurines that they find in South America, these were reverence of the crown chakra. That, you know, and there are other versions where it's a whole human body cloaked in an entire egg. And that's what you see here. But sometimes they'll leave the bottom part out and the human look like a huge phallus or a microphone or a big sperm cell. And that's how you get these figurines here, representing the crown chakra part of the aura. And that's a very important part, right? So they paid reverence to it by creating these, because the crown chakra connects us to source. That's your parachute that allow you to take flight at the North Pole. So when you leave the body and you go to the North Pole, that's a huge stream of magnetic energy, a beanstalk going up to the source. When you step onto that portal, you're going to catch that energy inside of your umbrella, and you're going to be beamed up to the Most High. So this look like a UFO, beam me up, Scotty. Let me show y'all how they corrupted this science real quick. Thank y'all for being patient with me. What I want you to do is hit the like button, hit the share button. We got to grow this, people. This is divine science. There's no reason this stuff shouldn't be viral. Okay? The beam me up concept that you see here is a plagiarization of this here. Our crown chakra is like a UFO ship rotating around our head. This became the halo that they put on Jesus' head. This is a halo. It's an opening around your head, just like you see here. And this is how we get beamed up. And it looked like a bullet inside of a cylinder. So the North Pole is like a straw. And your aura is like a bullet. And it gets inside of this cylinder and it blasts like a gun in a barrel. That's how we travel up the North Pole when we leave the body. So our bullet is a bullet because the bull is Hathor. Remember that the bull being Hathor represent the auric field, and I'll give you a quick picture right now before we move on. People, these things take a while because there's a lot to learn. So my videos are long because it's so much, man. Check this out, right? Here's a picture of Hathor. You see how Hathor is a giant bull that's covering the body? She's overshadowing him. And that's because Hathor is a big bull that's personifying the Thoris field. Hathor is Thoris field. And the horns in the circle represent the crown chakra that you see here. This is what we see with Hathor's horns. You are Hathor. Hathor is the bullet around your body. That bullet is the bull. That's what allows you to take flight. That's why they say red bull give you wings. Because Hathor is the red bull. Let me give you another energy so you can see how this artwork tie into it. Here's another picture of Hathor covering and surrounding the human body, because these animals represent the aura field surrounding the human body, and they personified it as a bull because it looked like a bullet. So the bull and a bullet got the same root word, and when they say somebody dominating you, that person is a bullet. Because the Most High dominates this thing with bullet energy, toroidal energy, that bull piston energy, that strong energy is like a bull. It bullies everything around. It moves the wind. It moves the fire. It moves the water. You can't escape it. You gotta die and be reborn because you made out of the elements. And the Most High control the elements because it bullies everything around because it's the great bull, the ruler. It bullies everything around. It dominates this place. The great mother is the bully. And your auric field is a bull that connects you to the great mother so you can be a god. You can be a bully and crush your enemies once you tap into your bullet energy. Now let's keep moving. We see down with these images that Hathor is the auric field surrounding the human body. All right, that the pictures are self-explanatory. Now we got to move on now because we're seeing here how these figurines, basically, when you look at artwork like this, with the human body inside of its own little world, it's because you're in your own world. The world is yours. The world outside ain't nothing but a stage that we all use to live on our own individual worlds. It's no different than a bunch of radio stations sharing one radio. You got one radio with all these stations. You got one earth with all these different other earths within it. And each human is their own experience, their own reality, their own cosmos within a cosmos, because this is a fractal code. So when you see artwork like this, with the woman surrounding herself in the dome, this is just beautiful artwork. The same thing the ancients was doing with this kind of artwork, surrounding the human with Hathor. It's the aura field. So we're surrounded in ethereal energy, and that's called your aura. That's what molds your body into existence. Okay? So now that you see how all of this relate, we can move on, because when you look at this kind of artwork in front of you, when you see the woman with the dome around her body, it's no different than these guys here. Everybody was telling the same story. These little beautiful figurines, I love these to death, and I hate that they corrupted them and turned them into Mario toadstools. Remember in Mario, the toadstool lived in the treasure chest. They still in our science. The treasure chest is Nut. I just got through showing y'all the treasure chest On part one, I think we went over the treasure chest. When Mario saving the princess, is you reconnecting with the great mother. The princess is the great mother. You are Mario. Mario. Rio is can be another word as child. It's something that can be looked as born from something. El and Elohim. You can do your research on that. There's a reason that cookie is called Oreo. There's a reason they use the word Rio in Spanish, but basically, um, Mario is another way of saying my son. Mario is a Mason, and he's walking the Masonic square grid. You see this? This is Masonic artwork. I just showed you the Masonic checkerboard. Mario breaks bricks, people. He's a Mason. He traveling the North Pole through the pipes to go to different worlds through the North Pole. He trying to save the princess. He trying to make it back to the Great Mother. But look, he's riding on a dinosaur because I told you what propels the world is magnetic energy, and the green dinosaur is really the turtle energy concept. Turtle Island represents energy, propulsion. We can power our worlds with this. The soul used Taurus energy to travel the macroverse. So if we made that energy in the microverse, we'll never run out of gas and energy. You wouldn't pay folks. That's infinite energy. So Mario riding on Yoshi is Mario using toroidal energy to travel through the cosmos, because that turtle represents the Taurus field. Don't you know that the name Yoshi is Yahshua? Yoshi is Yahshua, and a Yoshi is a high-ranking genie. I don't know if you know that a Yoshi is a yogi. A Yoshi is a yogi. I gotta take a break, people, because I got company at my door. We're gonna continue this cracking the cosmic code. I got time, so hey, we ain't going nowhere. We got to complete this entire section. No matter how long it take, we're gonna do it section by section. So enjoy the music. I'll be right back. All right, people, we are back. Thank you for allowing me to handle my biz. I know these streams are kind of long, but for what I'm doing, it's the equivalent of you sitting in a college room, and I'm teaching you so much in these streams that you're learning in like 4 hour streams enough to tie together a timeline of thousands of years of deception. So you gotta respect that, you know. And I dedicate my time to this. It's gonna take hours. It took them thousands of years to corrupt these symbols. You think it's just gonna take me a couple of minutes to undo it? This ain't microwave shit what we do over here. So it's gonna be long videos. These are classic lectures that when I'm gone, people gonna replay these long ass streams and they gonna reconnect with the ancestors. So we laying a foundation here. Cause something quick don't mean it's good. All right. Now give me a minute to burn me some sage, get my atmosphere right up in here, and we're gonna start back with it. We're gonna continue the slides. I'm not gonna stop till we finish the slideshows. Now I'm gonna get a mic check before I re-begin because we don't want no audio issues. Sometimes the mic get messed up, Google start trolling. Google will troll. Now, people, let me get a warning if my audio is still good and legible, and we'll get right back into where we left off at. We won't waste no time. So let me go on and get that. Let me get that one. If the audio's good. All right, let's get right back into it. So we know now what we're dealing with all this symbolism. Let's go back to our, let's go back to this. So Toadstool, this character with the mushroom head, they copying our ancestors, and I want to keep this up a minute so y'all can see the level of plagiarization. I showed you earlier how NASA took the Dogon Kanunga and turned it into their cosmic eye. They getting millions of dollars plagiarizing our ancient science and don't nobody care about it. People too plugged into their program and they don't want no change. It's too uncomfortable to change to get it right. Mario is walking the Masonic grid, but when he going to the toadstool is the oracle. Toadstool is the oracle. Okay. Saving the princess is getting back connected with the divine feminine, returning to the great mother. But also just realize this, Toadstool is a plagiarization of the ancient mushroom stones. These are from Mayan people. This predate Mario video game. Why do these people keep stealing from the ancestors? These are called toadstool figurines, and you can find them all over Mesoamerica. Here go different versions right here. This is common stuff. Like, why ain't this being taught? That people say they love their ancestors so much, but they ain't teaching this stuff. They giving you the same stuff that the enemy wants you to know, because they agents. When you see this toadstool joint, you know how much money they making off corrupting our ancient science because we don't know the truth. And people don't care about it. These Masons is corrupting our shit, selling it back to you, keeping the rich rich and the poor. The toadstool is the oracle. The oracle is the aura, the human aura. All right? That's what this umbrella represents, the aura around your body, which allow you to tap into the energy of the great mother. And they corrupted that. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Let's get it. So you see the dome surrounding the woman. It's the same concept that our ancestors was leaving us all over the world. I'm tying it all together. Here's another little toadstool creature. See, they mocking our ancient science, people. Who else care about it like me? I don't like what they doing. I don't like how they dumbing us down and holding these secrets, people. Come on now. You see what they doing? It's plagiarization. This concept became this concept. The UFOs. So they said aliens built the pyramids. Nope, our ancestors did, and they was cutting stone with sound vibration. They was cutting them stones with vibrating the stone, getting the. You say how the ancients was cutting the stone so good? They was using magnetism, vibration, a technology we yet to ascend to. So when you look at the ancestors, they look like individual Tesla coils, because that's what we are. And that's what this represents. That's why he's the oracle. You go to him to get goodies and get information. You go inside of the treasure box because that's Nut. Remember Nut? That's why in Mario 3 you go, inside of Nut. But, we got to keep in mind that it's all the same thing we see in this artwork here. Now, next slide. Same concept here. This is the Turtle Man stone slab again in South American. This is a old stone that is just as old as the Olmec heads. Let me say that again. This stone is just as old as the Olmec heads, and it's a half man, half turtle. Why does it shape like that? It's the same thing they're giving you in this artwork right here. The human surrounded in the aura field. And since the aura field was personified as a turtle, you have half man, half turtle. Simple stuff, self-explanatory. The picture's worth so many words. So I don't gotta talk. All I gotta do is go here. All I gotta do is go here and then go back here. And you see exactly what I mean. Go here and then next slide, go there. So you Turtle Islanders talking about it. So for you Aboriginals that's saying Turtle Island is any geographic location, if you still saying it, you know you're an ignorant reprobate. If you still saying Turtle Island is North America or anywhere else on Earth besides what I'm telling you now, you just ignorant. You just being mean now. Because you mean to tell me they made this half man, half turtle because they wanted him to mix his body with North America? Or is they giving you what I'm giving you in all these other doggone pictures? The human aura field. Don't make our ancestors to be no dummies, man. Don't put their science on no shallow level. Corrupting the ancient science gonna get you dealt with in the afterlife because it's the ancestors that take the soul through the rites of passage. If you don't know what you're talking about, you taking a risk on your karma getting up there in a teaching position. Because everybody you corrupt, they blood on your hands. So ain't no way you gonna tell me that the Turtle Island is North America and the reason that they got this man body blended with the turtle is because he becoming one with North America. Or he becoming one with some little island near Haiti. They mixed his body with Tortuga Island. Get the hell out of here. Y'all on a shallow surface level with it. The reason they got his body half man, half turtle is the same reason the Sphinx is half man, half lion. The turtle is a zoo type that represented magnetism in its time. It represented the human auric field in its time. So this turtle around this man's body represent your human aura field around your body. You know why? It's called your shell. It's called your shell, and it's a gas station called Shell, and they giving you a turtle. It ain't nothing but a yellow turtle. This ain't nothing but a turtle. And they telling you shell because, yes, it's a beach shell, but beach shells come. Let me show you a beach shell. Let me show y'all something. I'm going to show you how they lying to you. Here go a beach shell. Or what I mean, beach shells. Now, of course, you got that arc-shaped beach shell. That's a common shell in nature. We ain't going to deny that. My point here is this. If you look at these beach shells, they all take sacred geometric patterns. Nature is organized. Look at these beautiful patterns that nature organized these animals into. But the one they give you, right, it's the one shaped like a turtle. They could have made their symbol any one of these, but they made it this one. Why did they make it that one? Because that's the one the ancients used. Let me show you. It's all copycat plagiarization. And we're going to go over this again in the future. When you see this serpent surrounding this dude, it's the same thing, people. It's the human aura surrounding the body. In this culture, they represent the aura as a bunch of serpents surrounding you. I showed you in this culture, it was just a dome around the head. The human aura field as a dome around the head. In certain cultures, they made the dome into just a snake around the head. And the gas company Shell stole that. This is ancient Hindu science of the human auric field. And they just steal everybody's shit. Because the human's auric field is basically your shell. This is your shell. All right? It's your shell around your body. Everybody got a shell around them. That's an aura. And they took that and turned it into the Shell gas station. How much plagiarization do I got to show y'all for y'all to help me grow this movement? This is spiritual warfare and plagiarization. Look at how they corrupting all of this science, people, using it against us, got you paying for energy and gas. When you know this ain't nothing but the torus field, the turtle. So, you know, let's just keep this thing moving some more. Let's just keep it moving. Next slide. This is nothing but a planetarium. And of course, I put this up here for one, it's beautiful architecture. For two, it shows you how the Masons and architects know the secret of the cosmos, because this right here is exactly how the cosmos is built. All right. You got Mesa holding up a all-seeing eye. Let's do this. Let's do this. See how you got a stage right here? It's a platform or a podium, a pulpit. It's what's called a mesa. And above it is an eyeball. Same thing here. Here's the mesa. Here's the mesa. And above it is an eyeball. All right. Let me let my girls in. Hold up a second. Okay, cool. We can keep going now. We're going to go to the next slide. I just wanted to pull this up to show you how. Hold up a second. A lot of traffic out there. Hold on a minute. Let's keep it moving. We see how it's the all-seeing eye above the Mesa base. This is the plane right here, dielectric inertia plane, or the Mesa. Remember, we're going to stick with our sacred geometrical theme because I do sacred geometry. We do shapes. We tie it all together that way. So again, here's your Mesa and the eye above it. All right, boom. It's all around you. The Masons run the world. Next slide. Next slide. Here is what's called the umbrella stone. This umbrella stone, again, it's the same age as the Olmec heads. Let me say that again. Just like the turtle man, this umbrella stone is around the same time of the Olmec heads. This is an old stone that the people in this area go to and they rub it and they get good luck. Now they turned that to some wood stone at the Apollo. If you black and you grew up watching the Apollo, they had a little wood circular stone slab on a podium that they get them to rub. The original one is right here. People go and rub that to be healed and everything. So this is, you want to research it, you can. It's called the umbrella stone, and it's in South America. One of the ancient, most oldest structures on the land. And some say it appears to be like a stone that just grows out of the ground. So this is very magical stuff. Like when you look at this, it may look simple, but like, look at this, B. Like, who made this? How did they get this thing, this shape? Like, this is one solid stone and they carved it this way. And people, that's amazing. And you can see this thing been revered for eons and it's been there. You know how much energy might be around that thing? I bet you all the plants growing around that thing is healthy. But again, it's toadstool. It's nothing but toadstool. If you look at that umbrella stone, it's still, they turned that into toadstool. Because guess what? Some people call this a toadstool, people. This been around before the Mario game, people. When you go there today, a lot of people call this the ancient toadstool. Why? Because you can sit on it. It's a stool. And it does look like a toad looking at you, a frog face. But when you put it all together, it looked like a little dude wearing a hoodie. Looked like a little wizard. Little South Park creature. In that cartoon South Park, you see they turned this into a cartoon character. This is Hey Arnold. In the chat room, this is so many things. Call it out if you see it. This is the Ankh. This is the tree of life. The umbrella stone is Nut and the firmament. This is the Hebrew cosmos. All right. This, like I said, this is the ancient toadstool figurines. This is the ancient toadstool figurines. Why don't you aboriginals listen to me? I'm not picking on you. I'm trying to give you some knowledge. Now let's go to the next slide. Hold on, before we go to the next slide, let's rewind it. I'm going to show you more plagiarization in case you missed it. Here go the planetarium that they built. And then you can see that is another plagiarization of this umbrella stone concept, because this is sacred architecture. When you look at this stuff on a small scale like this, and that them stones can support each other with this shape, you say, that's brilliant. You can build it on a macro scale because you know the sacred geometry makes sense. The building ain't gonna fall apart because you already saw the concept somewhere, which was here. And as we move through the slides, you're gonna see this same concept in the next images. Go to the next slide. Okay, see here, it's the Hebrew cosmos. Now let's go back to the umbrella stone. Boom. Here go the umbrella stone. Here go the Hebrew cosmos. Umbrella stone, cosmos. This is your turtle island, people. Here's the turtle's back. Here go the island that's on his back. Now I just showed y'all the artwork of Turtle Island, and it had the turtle with the island on his back. That island is the earth right here. It's an island in the middle of the turtle. So it's called Turtle Island. But it's the tree of life. You see how it's shaped like a tree? You see how this is the shape of the earth, but it's also the shape of this, because the human and the earth are the same thing. You're a miniature earth. I'm trying to reconnect us back with the ancient spiritual science people, and they calling this alternative science, terrorism, distraction, division, and they trying to label me so they can persecute me for this truth. Hit the like button, guys, and you know, let's keep the pressure on them. Share this. We got to get this viral. Look at here now. Hebrew cosmos was corrupted and turned into the Mario toadstool. But like I told you, the Hebrew cosmos is nothing but the Mesoamerican umbrella stone. This thing here is the cosmos. This is what they call in Yahweh's terrarium. When they say that the earth is the earth is God's footstool. When the Hebrews talk about Yahweh's terrarium and they call the earth a footstool, it's not a footstool, it's a toadstool. It's a toadstool. Now, the people who call it a footstool is plagiarizing and blaspheming the science. It's like they kicking this shit. They saying they putting their foot on your shit. That's why in the Mario game, they make you step on these creatures. Let me show you. It's all joking. They joking on you. Look at here. This the toadstool. This your toadstool. They make you step on this thing, man. And they turned the toadstool into a footstool. But in a way, even though they disrespecting it, it still makes sense. Because it is a stepping stool. We travel through these domes or these great mothers or the pregnant belly in and out of lifetimes to move up the magic mountain, which is the magnet mountain. Okay, and the pregnant belly. So toadstool is a footstool. I guess you can look at it that way. Because we step on these steps, magic mountain, to go to the next world. I showed y'all how that worked previously. So I can see how it can be a footstool. It's the stepway or gateway in between lifetimes to get us to the next realms of existence. So toadstool, footstool, I'm making the connection now. But they make you step on them. So I knew there was a symbolic to the stepping because that's what the Masons do. They step. That's what the fraternities do. They step. The militaries march. They step in a rhythm because that represents the rhythm of the cosmos. The step pyramid going up the beanstalk to meet the source. It's the music of life. So it's a constant war between subconscious and conscious. But it ain't a war like they in conflict. It's more of a dance. Like man and woman go to war to create a baby. Sex is chaos, but it's a beautiful chaos. Let's go to the next slide. This is an ancient Bakken cosmology. Now, who are the Bakken people? Let's take a look at them just so we can get an ID on the people we dealing with. These are the Bakkens, the ancient Bakken people. Bakken people look like some kind of Middle Easterners. They are the the Balkans. I'm mispronouncing their name, the Balkan people. Balkan, Balkan. And the Balkan cosmology is right here. You can see it's the same as the Hebrew cosmology. Everybody was on the same page. Balkan. I tried my best to find the most rare tribes and go to their cosmology to show you everybody knew this truth, this tree of life. This is your Big Bang. It's an explosion. Let me show you why it's an explosion. Let me show you something. We're going to take the figurines and toadstool off. This was turned into the Big Bang. This is Ma'at. This is Ma'at with her wings spreaded. Ma'at is the Big Bang. The Big Bang is the tree of life. The Big Bang is an explosion. That's what the mushroom figurines are. You're a miniature explosion. When you see the mushroom figurine, this is the tree of life. This is the earth. This is the tree of life. It's an explosion. Boom. All right. Remember that this is a flower. This explosion is a flower. Why is it a flower? Because when you say boom, you're also saying bloom. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. Boom. Boom is bloom. Boom. Bloom. Boom. Bloom. And everything in life is an explosion or a flower of life. This is Ma'at with her wings spread. Like I said, this is the flat earth cosmos. And that became the Big Bang. Next slide. This is the Balkan cosmos again. It's the Big Bang. It's an explosion. So the ancient Balkan people knew what they was talking about now. They knew what they was talking about. Look at this. This is the UFO ship. Beam me up, Scotty. Look. They corrupted this stuff. This thing is also Saturn with the all-seeing eye in the middle. All right. This is ancient Balkan cosmology. Tell me I'm not on my shit and don't know what I'm talking about. This became the Big Bang, people. Our earth is a flower that's constantly blooming outward. It's a growing fruit. And the core of the fruit is the North Pole. Ain't it beautiful? The Balkans knew what they was talking about in this conception. That became the Big Bang. Now let me not be redundant. Next slide. This right here is a scene from that movie that I'm telling you to go watch. It's called A Signal. There's a movie called The Signal. And you need to go and watch that movie because this is flat earth cosmology. They giving it to you in the movie. Now people say if you believe the earth flat, you gotta be stupid. Well, the Milky Way flat. How can the earth be a globe, but you got all these globes inside of a flat Milky Way? Can I fit a basketball in a sheet of paper? Let me get a yes or no in the chat room. Can I fit a basketball in a sheet of paper? How you got all these huge ass worlds inside of this thin little frisbee? You talking about the earth ain't flat, but your goddamn Milky Way flat. That's because the Milky Way is the galaxy. That's the galaxy. The galaxy is the great mother. This is flat earth. This the all-seeing eye, the spiral of life. And they giving it to you for the Milky Way, but this ain't nothing but a drawing. This 6-9 yin yang. You see it right there. NASA is a religious organization that make millions to give you esoteric truth and throw you off from the great mother. Lead you back to sun worship. That's why a sun is right here and not a womb. It's supposed to be a womb right there. Let me tell y'all something. You will not know the truth until you get back to the moon goddesses and the great mother. I told you yesterday, it's not the darkness that blinds you. It's the light that blinds you. Darkness don't blind you. Light blinds you. So when you stop worshiping these sun gods and quit thinking that Illuminati and being illuminated with the light and all that, that ain't the answer. You find the truth when you go back into the womb like Nebuchadnezzar and be born again through the great mother. Then you ascend through the ranks of knowledge. All that illuminated knowledge is just ego. That's that sun worship. See, that's that light that got y'all blinded because the truth in the darkness, that light show is egotistical. When you at home in the dark, you ain't acting the same way. You yourself when you in the presence of the Reaper, the great mother. So we got to humble ourselves, get back to the darkness because the light was blinding us. The sun god's been blinding us. Now, let me keep this thing going. Again, this is a scene from the movie The Signal. And the signal is the tree of life. This is a huge pussy. It's shaped like a vagina. This is between your woman's legs, and this is her belly pregnant up there. Y'all don't see that this is sex magic? The woman sensed the signal. Here's the Balkan cosmos, people. These the Balkan people, they poor, they're a third world country. And here you go, Hollywood, stealing these people cosmology, making movies with it, making millions off our ancestors' cosmology with gas stations all around the Masons getting rich off your cosmology and selling it back to you in Hollywood. They are magicians. Next slide. This is the Ojibwe order of the cosmos. Aboriginals. One of the oldest Aboriginal tribes is the Ojibwa, the Ojibwe. I know what I'm talking about. Thank me later, Turtle Islanders. Thank me later. It's going to hurt at first, but you're going to thank me later. See, you don't really want to reconnect with the ancestors if this truth hurt you. That means you thought you was right and you so far in your ego, now you hearing something different and you just can't let it go. That's cognitive dissonance. And you won't be able to reconnect with the truth with that ego in your way. Can't argue with that I'm showing you today. This is the This is the Ojibwe world order. And this is basically the Ojibwe cosmos. This is the Ojibwe cosmos. And don't let it confuse you, people. All you looking at is this. Let me do that again. This is the Ojibwe cosmos. And here go a scene from the movie The Signal. It's more plagiarization. Hold up a second. So let's go on a recap. Here go the planetarium that they saying that the Earth, they telling you that they going in there to prove that the Earth is a ball, but the shape of the planetarium is flat Earth, so it's a big joke. People walking around that thing thinking they believing on a globe, living on a globe, and they call this a planetarium. And they study so-called be proven, heliocentric cosmology. But the very architecture of this thing, they call it a planetarium, is the flat earth cosmology. So we're doing a recap. Here's the umbrella stone. We went over that. That's the Hebrew cosmos. We went over that. We also compared that to this, which is the Balkan cosmos. And we know that they're both are the explosion of life. We went over that. This is your Pangea concept. Come on. We went over how they corrupted this and put it in Hollywood on a famous movie with Lawrence Fishburne, The Signal. And it's a reason they chose Lawrence Fishburne. The fish is dealing with the Pisces, and Lawrence is dealing with the law, Ma'at. So Lawrence Fishburne is basically another way of saying a great mother who was a mermaid, and she took the place of Ma'at, the lawmaker. Lawrence Fishburne, okay? He played in this movie, The Signal. Everything is Masonic, is a script. And again, what you looking at in this movie is a plagiarization of the Ojibwe cosmos as well. How long we gonna let them plagiarize our ancient cosmos, y'all, and hide the truth? How long we gonna let them do it? Next slide. I don't think it's a next slide. No, that's the last one. It's some more symbols that I want to sync to. I wanted to sync to that though. We'll do it in the next one. That complete today's show. What we'll do though is this. When you're looking at this Ojibwe cosmos, you're looking at this. I just want to show y'all how they stealing from our ancestors. Now this became, like I said, this, which is the Nagini. All right. This shell logo is this Ojibwe cosmos. This is Turtle Island right here, people. Now that completes today's slideshow. We'll be back tomorrow with yet again another part. We still going deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. What's the rabbit hole? Right here. This the rabbit hole, the all-seeing eye. This is the rabbi's hole. They don't want y'all to know this stuff. Free energy, people. You don't have to power your cars with gas, because they all know the secrets of free energy is right here. What you're looking at here is a Tesla coil. This is ancient patented devices. So it's not just the shape of the earth. The ancients used this to build free energy devices too. And this what Tesla studied to build his energy devices. That's why all of them little mushroom figurine sculptures, they look like little Tesla coils. He studied this stuff to build his devices. And once we start studying it, we can get on the genius mind of Tesla. And with that being said, I'm going to open up the chat room now. That completes our today's portion. So I'm going to stop right there because it's already been about 4 hours. And I'm going to get back in the chat room. And like yesterday, the first thing I'm going to do is hit up the super chats because people donated to the show. We want to definitely acknowledge those guys. Let me give a big shout out to David Jackson for the super chat donation. He said, keep it up, bro. Shout out to my brother Travis. He said, hey, bro, I'm always working and don't have time to see you live. What do you think about wheat? I eat a lot of wheat, brother. I don't think nothing at all is wrong with wheat. It's sure hella better than white bread and flour and all that. If you ask me, you're doing good if you eat wheat and whole grains. Keep it up. That's what I'm gonna tell you. You're doing good, Travis. Keep it up. Let me give a shout out to Troy Brown. Thank you for the super chat donation, Troy. Bro, been rocking with you for 3+ years, and I've grown exponentially. Trying to get on with you and the bros soon. Much love and respect, fam. Definitely. What I'll do after this is I have an open panel. I'm not saying, matter of fact, I may have an open panel right after this show. You know what I'm gonna do just for y'all? Now that part 2 of the series is done, we'll cut the series in the middle with an open panel Q&A, allow for debates, rebuttals, and questions. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end this stream. I'm gonna take like an hour break. I'm gonna set a countdown clock, so don't go nowhere. We're gonna refresh the page, and I'm gonna come back with an open panel show to tie into this series. We're gonna allow for debates and rebuttals, and because I'm gonna continue this series, and I'm gonna keep bringing that work. I got like 4-5 more parts of this joint, so this is just the beginning. So if you got anything you want to say, you better hop on while I'm allowing this panel to be open today. I got time. And I'll do that after this show. Now, let me give a shout out to Anthony Baker for the super chat donation. Said, keep up the good work. I sure will. Shout out to Tenjum E.E. Magnet. You are my ambassador of validity. Thank you. Shout out to you, my sister. Shout out to you, my sister. I really appreciate you. I don't think I ever saw you before, but it's so good to see you supporting. And I love y'all to death. I appreciate you. The sister, She Ether, come through every show. If it ain't nothing but $2-3, she gonna put some on it, and I gotta tell you, she really supports this show. She really put a lot of her money into this platform, and I just got to take a minute and say I appreciate that, sister She Ether, because I'm very humbled, man. I'm very humbled, guys. I'm not like most folks. I'm not arrogant when you give your money. Listen, I'm letting you know I'm humble, you know. She Ether says, Team Scorpio, that's what your vibe is, the truth. That's good to know. So there is a little truth to astrology. My girl told me I may want to re-question astrology. I think I'll be doing that. Maybe I need to get with Dolo because this Mercury retrograde has been beat my ass. I'm not even lying. This Mercury retrograde we under, I've been going through some deep family problems, and it's been making me kind of want to re-question my astrology beliefs. I'm not going to even bullshit with you, man. Like, I want to reopen up that discussion again and tell you what I believe and what I don't believe about astrology, so we can reopen up that debate. So let me give a shout out to my brother from another, Sir Drop, Turtle Island, Tortoiseville. You right, my brother. Shout out to the HOTC. My brother Huey P. Nuisance coming through showing love. He said, my teacher better than yours. Flat motherfucking power. Bro Sanchez, keep up the great work. Bro, much love. Flat lives matter, man. Much love, my brother Huey. I love you, my brother. And much love to you, my brother Sir Drop. I love y'all, brothers, man. Much love to the HOTC. Y'all been rocking with me for a minute, man. Appreciate it. Mark Monaghan, came through again today with the super chat. Ain't no hiding place from truth. That's right, Flat Power. Thank you, Mark Monaghan. Thank you for your support, my brother. ATP Music came through and said, Bro Sanchez on a roll, 3 powerful uploads in 1 week. Nobody doing it like this. We appreciate the knowledge and we appreciate you, Bro Sanchez. Keep your foot on these pseudos' neck. Flat motherfucking power all day. That's what the hell I'm talking about. Shout out to y'all, brothers. ATP Music, appreciate it. Shout out to my brother Irving coming through with the 3.14 donation, showing you boys something about pi. That was kind of, I'm fucking with that. The 3.14. Shout out to you. Rafael Sanchez. Thank you for the super chat donation. From one Sanchez to another. Keep blessing us with the knowledge we need to free our minds. Thank you and much respect. Much respect to you, Raphael, and much love to you and the fam. And I appreciate your continued support too, because you've been holding it down as well. And I just want to re-thank everybody who sent in super chat donations. Let me thank you guys who weren't able to donate, but you sent in a thumbs up, you shared the video, and just giving me your viewership. I appreciate all of y'all. What I'm going to do at this time, I'm going to leave us with a song like we always do, and I'm going to shut this stream now because I don't want to get to that 4-hour mark. I don't want to get to that 4-hour mark. So I'm going to go on in this one. It's been a lovely one. This series going to be powerful, as you can see, and everyone going to be able to learn from it, not just the aboriginals. This is deep divine knowledge. So look out for part 3. We're going to continue this because I got a lot of parts to it. But tonight we're going to have an open panel. So if you want to have an open panel and you got something to say about what's been taught, if you want to debate whatever you want to say about Turtle Island, come on, let's get it. Let's do it. We ain't scared. Going to be respectful. I'm going to open up a panel right after this, so don't go nowhere. What you need to do is just stay here in the chat and keep hitting the refresh button, and you'll see the countdown for the next show where we're going to have the open panel in between this series. Hope to see you guys there. Peace and much love.